It was a massive explosion lighting up the night sky over Cape Canaveral. Blue Origin's new Glenn rocket blowing up on the launch pad during a static test fire in Florida.
Oh, no, that's an explosion.
The blast shown from multiple angles, so massive it could be seen from a plane flying above. No injuries on the ground, but the incident destroyed one of the launch pad towers and shook the nearby community. Captured on nearby doorbell cameras, turning the night sky orange.
They argued that the Supreme Court should not take this case. The question: whether a state law that allows for reasonable accommodations short of complete religious exemption is consistent with the Civil Rights Act Title VII and can be the basis of an employer's undue hardship defense. This is a foundational issue in MAHA. After COVID, and by the way, this comes from the COVID cases, they are okay with an accommodation, not a full religious exemption, just an accommodation. You talk about a war on MAHA.
David Rush is a former CIA senior official. He's behind bars accused of stealing 303 gold bars from the agency, worth more than $40 million. While the case is being made public now, the FBI arrested David Rush on May 19th and searched his Northern Virginia home.
To Resistance Chicks, we're your hosts, Leah and Michelle. It's Friday, which means we're going to take you all around the domestic United States. That was on my world news program intro.
Oops,
we're going to take you all around America.
I preloaded the wrong show
in my own brain.
In my own mind.
We're going to take you all around America. I've been everywhere, man. Cross the desert, air, man. I would love to just one day bring that up and just go through it because I feel like I could do it. Alabama. No, but now I'm on. Now, then that's like Alabama, Alaska, Arizona, Arkansas, California, Colorado, Connecticut.
Stop. It's
all
the most
states.
annoying song.
It's the greatest. Happy Friday back at you, Nana. I like this. Who was it? Wicked Psych says, I wasn't aware of any of the stories that were listed. Isn't that great? That's why you're here. So the Blue Origin rocket explodes. Now, thank you, Leah. Here's the thing. I wasn't aware of that story until Leah sent it to me either. I wasn't aware that Jeff Bezos had a rocket. Now, what I did find in my own research, maybe Leah's already got this, all these majillionaires, which, by the way, Jeff Bezos is one because of us. I mean, just us. Our family, our household has made him a bajillionaire, okay? These bajillionaires all think that they need to put a rocket where rockets maybe shouldn't go. You know what I mean? Right?
Well, where else should rockets go?
Well, y'all know where they should go. But this is what happened, okay? So you know what Elon Musk says?
What does Elon Musk say?
Rockets are hard.
Na, 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 na. Mine went up in space and yours blew up.
No, he literally said, he just said this. Rockets are hard. And you know what? I agree with that statement. Rockets are hard. Since we've been making them, they consistently, you know what I'm saying? Yep. But here's the good news. And I can laugh and joke about it because there wasn't any body
that got hurt
in there. You know what I mean? It's unmanned. Lord. It was a test.
Thank you, Lord.
So you know how you're a teenager, you're working on your dad's, whatever, hot rod, and you go out there and you turn it on and you make sure that it's in neutral and you give it some gas and boom, 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 makes it sound right. That's kind of what they were doing with the rocket.
Revving the engines.
They were trying it out, testing some stuff, not actually sending it to space.
Right.
And that's the worst. Imagine you're working on you're out there. Your dad says you can fire it up, and you're there, and then it was
revving the engine.
It's not even. It wasn't even like a car wreck.
Blew up.
It did. All right. Now
So sorry.
this next story is not a laughing matter.
Oh, this next one is the vaccine.
Yeah, look, scroll down and look at that cute picture of Eden there. And look, that's adorable.
That's so cute.
We're doing our craft show again this weekend. MAHA betrayed. I wanted to add this word to
What
that.
is that? What is that?
Again. MAHA betrayed again. Now, this one is actually the worst. We're going to play a clip. I used a little portion of it in our intro here today from our buddy, Tom Renz. So remember how everybody went around getting their religious exemptions? Pastors were signing them. Pastors were feeling like the greatest patriots on earth, just handing them out like cookies. You know, you ain't got to get that jab. Your pastor said you got a religious exemption. Well, in New York, that wasn't flying. And so it's gone all the way to the Supreme Court. The Trump DOJ is encouraging heavily the Supreme Court to not take this case. They want it to be, and this is the semantics are a little bit, they don't want a religious exemption. They want an accommodation. Tom Renz is going to break down the difference between those two, but there is one. This is a complete betrayal, not just on MAHA. I'm going to say on MAGA.
It is.
MAGA was against these daggum pricks in the arm or wherever you were getting them. You know what I mean? Now, all right. Now, so that one's not a laughing matter. This other one's kind of a laughing matter, like legit. Okay. This former CIA official steals 303 gold bars.
But here's the for he needed them.
He needed them for work. I heard that. I saw that. I needed them. You know what, buddy? I did too.
I did
too. Now
I didn't know that was a business broker. I would have been working for the CIA a long time ago.
I think we're in the wrong business. I do want to give a little bit of a personal story. Just for fun, because I can.
Okay.
All right, so we do this auction site because we have nothing better in life to do. It's called Bid FTA. I bet all y'all have one. I don't know. We have like, what, 6 around us or something like that within driving distance? So it's essentially like Amazon returns get sent back and processed through this. And sometimes you can get some really cool stuff for cheap.
Stories. So I really should be doing videos, like little TikToks.
We're not doing life right because we're too busy, okay? But y'all saw we're calling him Wally. He's our little pool sucker. Wait, what is he? Vacuum. He's a full vacuum.
He's a little robot.
Man,
he's so
a
adorable.
pool full.
I
he's
love
a pool
him.
full. He's a
I
pool
love
dirt
him.
sucking
I now
full.
love him.
We got that pool open, filters running. Wally's in there doing his job. This boy was originally almost like $350, $400. I think Matt paid between like $3 and $30 for this thing.
Something
Brand
like that,
stinking new on the Bid FTA auction site. Sometimes you get burned, sometimes you win. So remember how, I don't know if Kimberly Vinzel's here yet tonight. She bought us the Life Pro shake thing. So we got another one, super fancy. We gave it to Abigail and her family.
Yeah,
we kept the one from Kim.
It was like a $700 one.
How much did we pay for that puppy? Like $45.
$40.
Okay, now sometimes you get burned because sometimes it don't work. We had one that we bought that didn't work.
So we have gotten some things in good condition. So what bad people will do.
Bad people.
They will order something on Amazon and send back their old product.
You should not do that.
So we have a shovel that was broken.
Yeah.
For a Craftsman shovel that was broken, and Matt welded it back. It's not red, it's pink because it's so faded, but the shovel does work now that he welded it.
You got a hammer?
The hammer was a return. They got a good new hammer and they returned. The other one was
the Cuisinart.
The Cuisinart. Now,
it's Cuisinart, not Cuis.
This Cuisinart.
What you're saying, that's making me queasy.
It does work.
It's new. It's newer than ours. Not. What I'm saying is it's newer than ours.
Ours
has a button, Leah. Ours has a button like this.
I'm telling you.
It's newer than ours is what I'm saying.
I'm telling you that this Cuisinart has been used a lot.
Came from somebody's house. But it's nice looking. Like it looks newer than ours.
Who buys a new Cuisinart and then puts their old one back in it and sends it back to Amazon? What
bad people?
Evil person does it. So we've gotten that.
It's black, it's sleek. Like it literally, compared to ours, it looks brand new. You got to tell them that.
No, it's
Yes, it does. It's nice. Okay, so we're keeping it. So I'm getting to a store. I'm connecting this to gold. You didn't know. You already forgot about the guy in the 303 gold bars, but I'm bringing it back, baby. Are you ready? So I could not sleep last night. And I have never scrolled through the bid FTA site. Just see what's there. It's the worst. It's kind of like gambling. So what I normally do is I've gone in there several times to get things specific that I need, like the new 6-foot table, that kind of thing. But I've never just like scrolled through to like see like who wants to come home with me, right? So I did that last night. I went through, I don't even know how many items, and I bid on them. They were like $2, right? Things like $1.50, $2. I bid on some stuff. I actually won some stuff. We'll see how it works out. But I scrolled across, I came across this thing, and I knew that Matt would be up. So I texted him. Leah was dead asleep. And I was like, is this real?
He got a little excited.
Is this real? So here's what it was. Now I should pull it up on Amazon because it is legit.
I want to hear what you guys think.
Let's pull this up on Amazon. I want you guys to tell me. So you can get prospected gold in 1 and 2 grams. Okay. It's a thing. It's a collector item. Okay. 1 gram. Here, I'm typing this out so you guys can, we're going to go along. We're going to do this together. All right. Prospected gold, 1 gram. Leah, how come I'm not finding it now?
I don't know.
Well, you can get it.
Just
all
put
right?
in gold 1 gram.
No, but it's a specific
See what happens.
thing.
But I know, but see what happens.
What is it? It's like, they're called something like gold. Raw, maybe? Raw? Okay, let's try that. No, that's not getting me what I want. It's still not getting me. Oh, no, that's not the right thing. Anyway, so you can get these on Amazon. Leah looked it up, but this morning, okay? It's literally straight from the ground in different places, like Alaska. This one was from North Carolina, whatever. And it was 1 gram, and it was cheap, but you had to buy, they had 40 units, and you had to buy all 40. Like you bid on 1, you're bidding on 40. They were $5. But the 1 gram that I came across on Amazon sells for $188. Matt thought it was like $350. So he was bidding like through the night, just checking on it, because he's thinking to himself, he's going to get 40 of these puppies. And he said, even if they went for $200 or $20, that would be $800, and you'd be getting like like $20 for a gram versus, in his mind, it was $350. It wasn't, it was $180. Okay. So I kept thinking, if this is real, great deal. We're doing it. Like what? Let's go. And he was down to the wire, and he was trying to get a hold of us early this morning. We were asleep, and literally he bid up to $12 and was outbid. $12 a gram, 40 of these. Okay. But when Leah and I were thinking about it, we were remembering the hammer and the Cuisinart.
So what if somebody
went and got they fool's gold, right?
Mm-hmm.
Got all this gold, which is likely what it was. So we're actually thankful. But there's a part of you that has this like gut punch of like, I missed out on this great, we were going to have this gold in the raw. But you know what happens? It's something that's real.
Gold
and apparently
fever.
this CIA guy's got it.
Gold fever.
Gold fever. And especially in the raw, right? It's in the raw. And you were like feeling like I was out there with a pickaxe and a pan and some water and like getting it out of the river and the creek myself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So there's something to it that makes you feel like, oh my gosh, I'm going to walk into, that's what I would do. You know what I would do? I would paint a tooth brown, and I would put on some like big baggy overalls and a really old straw hat and some big boots. And I'd walk in there and I'd set it on the counter of like some, pawn shop. And I'd be like, I've been panning at this creek, and this is all the gold I got. And then they're going to be like, you panned all of this gold? Where is your source? I'm like, I ain't going to tell you. Nobody's going to find out. Nobody but me and my dog. You know what I mean? Like that's like, wouldn't that be something fun to do? You walk in and you got this and you put it like in like a bag. You know what I mean? And you actually like walk in kind of like looking over your shoulder. I'll make sure nobody follow me in here. Nobody knows my secret spot.
Why don't you bring up my tabs? We actually had friends of ours who, when they bought their house, later did they find out that their creek was a gold creek, and people
stop. They pull over.
would
Every time
stop.
we went to their house, there was people there panning for gold.
There's actually
finding
gold.
little nuggets.
Yeah, you get that gold fever.
You do
Yeah.
get it. It's contagious.
It is very much.
I think Matt had a little bit of it last night. Should have taken his temperature. Do they have a thermometer for that gold
So I
fever?
guess 1 gram of gold is $80 right now. So even if you had, multiplied
Still,
12 times 12.
It would have been a good deal if real.
So we would have made $68 profit times,
Love it. 40.
40, which
Okay.
is, that's a, $2,400.
Sounds good deal.
I'm ready to do it.
I'm ready.
But it was, we were picturing the hammer.
We were picturing the hammer and the Cuisinart, right?
The queeze.
And you're making me queasy.
The queeze.
For real though. So
real.
So I don't know. Now would be a good time to open Todd's package. Is there anything fancy in there?
Oh
Did
my
you bring
gosh,
it
it's up.
down?
I didn't bring it down. You'll have to go get it.
I don't know what's in there, but it's heavy, Todd. So we're taking a guess. We haven't opened it yet.
Okay. So Michelle,
I'm ready.
first thing I want you to do
Okay.
is I want you to bring up my Twitter and the last thing I retweeted, because we're going to start with a commercial break.
Oh.
Michelle has no idea what this is. This is absolutely hilarious to me.
Okay. Oops.
I don't even know what to say right now.
Okay. Let's hit it.
So yeah.
All right. I'm gonna change my screen here. Give me 1 second.
So a husband and wife get in an argument in Pennsylvania.
Okay.
And in the middle of the night, something happens.
No.
And nobody dies except for the house.
Drone video shows the massive damage left behind after police say an argument between a husband and wife spiraled out of control Tuesday morning. Investigators say 48-year-old Eric Pirza used a Kubota excavator to rip apart the rear of the family's home.
I'd like to know what she said to him, because I'll make sure I don't say.
According to the criminal complaint, Pirza's wife told police her husband arrived at the family's home after drinking all night and began arguing with her. When she told him the marriage was over, investigators say he responded with a chilling threat. If it's over, I'll tear the house down.
42 years I've been married. We yell at each other all the time, but I've never threatened to tear the house down.
Police say moments later, Pirza climbed into the excavator and began tearing into the house, while his wife and 2 daughters were still inside. The criminal complaint says dispatchers could hear yelling and the sound of the excavator during the 911 call. Investigators say after the destruction stopped, Pirza went back inside, grabbed a gym bag, and took off toward Fawn Township before eventually being taken into custody.
You don't think it's going to happen around here.
Neighbors we spoke with off camera say they're still struggling to understand what happened. One man who says he knows Pirza personally and has hunted with him before described him as a big outdoorsman and said he was shocked by the allegations. Pirza is now facing charges including causing a catastrophe, reckless endangerment, and disorderly conduct. Court records also show his wife planned to seek a protection of abuse order following this incident.
Well, yeah. Okay, so here's the deal.
I'm sorry, sir, but you have just lost the house and the kids.
You
and
lost
all the
everything.
things.
Anything that you were going to get out of that house. I don't care if you had built that house brick by stinking brick. You get nothing, buddy. You are literally, that's the end of you in that house. And that's a gorgeous house. So
that's a giant house.
So I have
It had one of those outside, like they were obviously like off the grid type people. They had one of those where you heat your, like a wood stove, but it's outside.
Yeah. So like if I put myself in the shoes of the wife and daughters, this is a terrifying situation, right? Like imagine like the deck that we built and it's gorgeous, right? And imagine somebody comes and they're like, it's devastating and actually not funny at all, okay? All I can think of is a house that we walk past every single day. About 10 years ago, there was a husband who got so angry at his wife that it was a big deal. He shot her. The house was surrounded by the police. I mean, it was like, don't do it. I mean, it was like active scene. Like they didn't have to die.
His wife was leaving him.
She was leaving him and he shoots her and then he shoots himself. And so you think, just like that guy said, well, you never think it's going to happen in your neighborhood. So comparing this situation, I'm like, dude, all you do was lost the little back half of your house, right? And of course your husband, and that's sad because like you're getting a divorce and that's always hard. But like all I'm thinking of is, it was just a house, dude. He didn't come in and like kill you. Like, I would rather have a husband threaten to tear down my house than to like point a gun at me and like, you know, threaten to kill me and then do so.
I've never heard of creating a catastrophe.
A charge like that?
Where else would that be used?
That's such a great question.
You can't like a catastrophe.
No.
like
It applies to like the Avengers in the movies when they fight the bad guys in the cities and like the city gets the.
You can't start a tornado. You could start a fire, but that would be arson.
Yeah.
I'm just
creating.
Is that where you would put anything
causing
else?
Or creating a catastrophe?
Causing a catastrophe. So like maybe trying to blow a bridge up or something.
So I think we should just change tonight's show to a healing for the fractured soul, because what were we talking about today? What has been on my heart lately, Leah? What have I been sharing? Not living in your emotions.
Yeah.
Your emotions are liars.
Yeah.
And they will make you do things that are not you. So first of all, he's drunk. He was drunk. Yeah. Second of all, his emotions took over and he decides to Kubota his house.
Well, there was an actual explosion besides emotion.
So is Jeff Bezos going to be charged for causing a catastrophe here?
He should be. I think that if rockets explode, then you should be held responsible. Like now every home within, like 20 miles.
If you live in Cape Canaveral, though, like, are there people that live there? Is that a dumb blonde question?
I sent you the description.
No, I know, but like in Cape Canaveral, is Cape Canaveral a town?
Yes.
And it just so happens that they all shoot off all the rockets there.
Yeah, but I would assume that it wouldn't blow my window
I'm just saying I'm not living in Cape Canaveral. And some people want to live there just specifically for this. Mark Mucci says, one time I took a hammer to RTV in like 1995 and never bought another one again.
Okay.
TV,
I would love for
Kubota
everybody to just list all the things that they've ever done to cause a catastrophe. I think it would be really cathartic.
So I have had some moments.
You don't need to do that. Let's go to the rocket. You've never done this.
You're awesome. Okay, here we go. Let's go over to, is it a YouTube?
Yeah.
Here we go.
It was a massive explosion lighting up the night sky over Cape Canaveral.
It's such a big,
Blue Origin's New Glenn rocket blowing up on the launch pad during a static test fire in Florida.
Oh, no, that's an explosion.
Yikes.
The blast shown from multiple angles, so massive it could be seen from a plane flying above. No injuries on the ground, but the incident destroyed one of the launch pad towers and shook the nearby community. Captured on nearby doorbell cameras, turning the night sky orange.
That is crazy.
Yikes. Do you think everybody in Cape Canaveral knows what that is when it happens?
Shockwave.
Blue Origin is owned by Amazon founder Jeff Bezos, who posted overnight that personnel are safe and the company is working to find the cause, adding, quote, very rough day, but we'll rebuild whatever needs rebuilding and get back to flying. That rebuilding will be key for America's plans to return to the moon. NASA just awarded Blue Origin a major contract to deliver rovers on New Glenn rockets to the moon's surface. NASA Administrator Jared Isaacman announcing it earlier in the week.
In this moon base endeavor, we certainly hope to be breaking records on nearly every mission.
Well, you
overnight, Isaacman posting spaceflight is unforgiving, and developing new heavy lift launch capability is extraordinarily difficult, promising NASA will update on any impacts to the Artemis and moon base programs. Blue Origin had been part of the next stage of Artemis, which aims to get American astronauts to the moon within just a few years. Artemis, of course, enjoyed extraordinary success with its lunar flyby last month. Now, Isaacman promising NASA will, quote, get back to launching rockets, while the investigation and recovery from that devastating blast on the launch pad continue.
I have so much to say about
Tom,
this.
you've covered space.
You want to watch that?
Okay. For a couple decades for us now. Give us some perspective here. How big of a setback is this for Blue Origin? How big of a setback is this for America's lunar program overall?
Pretty big for Blue Origin. These repairs will take months at a minimum, but Blue Origin is so far the key player in getting cargo and eventually astronauts up to the moon. And that plan depends on many launches of this New Glenn rocket. It was grounded last month, by the way, after an engine failure put a satellite in a wrong orbit, but the company has been on track to launch a test flight this fall for a prototype lunar lander. But right now, NASA's plans to go to the moon are almost on steroids, very fast. And so to have a setback like this could be a setback for NASA as well for a while.
All right, Tom Costello
Can I give you just a few facts before you comment?
No, because I'm going to forget all my stuff, and you're going to read yours. So I have a question. Is there insurance for this?
I doubt it.
So, like, Bezos eats the cost of this.
That's what I was going to talk about.
Okay, number two. No, I have more to say. When it comes to this idea of rich people going to the moon, because that's all it's going to be, right? It's only going to be the rich that decide they want to take like a little vacay to the moon day. Okay, so they want to get in the rocket. First of all, Katy Perry and all them, they claim that they did something like this. They didn't land on the moon, but they claim they went to the outer space, right? Am I right about that?
Went as far as you could, like,
as far as you can go.
Earth's
okay,
atmosphere.
whatever. So, but it's only going to be the rich people that go
until you could get a little weightless.
Here is the problem. I've seen the movie The Island.
Okay.
If they're going to start claiming that these people, like, let's say it's an actor or like a singer, you've already got footage of these people, AI, you take them, you harvest their body for organs or something else.
Okay.
They've given you cash money.
Okay.
You send them up there. And then what? They just die. They disappear. They claim that they lived. Like, you don't even know, like, the island, welcome to the island. So you don't even know what happened to these people. They're just taking them off and they're just killing them. They're whacking them up. I don't trust stuff like this because I don't think that they're going to be able to pull this off where people are taking like a vacay to the island and then all this stuff about body doubles. Oh, you know what I have?
Please don't.
Stinchfield interviews the colonel with the thing.
Oh, he does. Okay.
Did you watch it?
No, I thought you were going to be like the whole mayor. In Florida
I'm saying body doubles, right? So you've taken this actor, you've taken Katy Perry, which we could do without her for real. Like, I wouldn't be sorry.
She could go to space.
She could go to space and like a body double come back. Like, I think she already has like a body double. I think she's possessed by Satan. She could be Satan himself. I'm not sure. But I'm just saying, this whole thing seems really suspect to me. That's all I have to say about it. Then we're going to get back to that general, colonel, whatever he was with the mask. I'm going to find that video with Stinchfield. Y'all ain't going to believe this.
Okay, so this New Glenn rocket explosion released 20% of the energy of the Hiroshima atomic bomb.
This is why we don't let these people do this stuff.
The pad, the LC-36, is the only pad on Earth that launches New Glenn, and now it's gone. And New Glenn was supposed to put us on the moon in 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
Over $1 billion to build that, just the launching pad. Now SpaceX needs 7 months to rebuild after a similar hit. The deadline, Amazon needs 1,618 satellites up by July 30th to keep its FCC license. It has 300. The rocket that was supposed to help fix that just blew up twice in a row. SpaceX made us believe that landing rockets on barges was a normal expectation. Turns out rocket science is hard. After all, yes. So that's unfortunate. Launchpad 36 in Cape Canaveral now has had 2 of the largest rocket explosions in U.S. history. In 1965, an Atlas Centaur exploded on pad 108 feet tall, 300 tons of TNT explosion equivalent, comparable to 500 Tomahawk missiles hitting the same spot at the same second.
Oh my gosh.
Seen as far away as Sarasota, homes shook, windows rattled throughout northern Brevard County. Audible shockwave traveled inlands about 30 seconds after the initial fireball.
Y'all worried about Iran having nuclear bombs and Jeff Bezos is setting off rockets?
Yeah, I don't know, guys. I don't know. I feel that some of the lefties, when they talk about like wasting resources while people are hungry and while people are starving.
Like, what's the point?
And if I feel that
there's 8 Ball. Oh, that's us. Look at you sharing us. You were just so awesome.
I feel that you could lower our Amazon Prime fees if you didn't spend $1 billion on a rocket pad and then blow it up and then need another $1 billion. What is that? You could knock off like 25, maybe $50 per customer.
Yeah.
And I think that would be a better trade. We don't need any of your rocket mans.
We don't. Let me read some comments and then we'll move on. All right. So, mined gold is about 70% value of refined gold. Thank you. April actually said that he put the BitFTA website in the comment section. You are so amazing. Look at this cool guy that we have here moderating for us. You know, I made you a moderator the other day, April. Okay, America is already on the moon. Jim says, ask Elon for some tips. The Wicked Psych says, poor wildlife. Jim wants to know, does the Van Allen radiation belt damage ships that enter it? That's a good question. Let's see. Wicked Psych says she said that she was taking the house, I bet, back to the guy that tore it down. Apal says, I've heard that the damage of the Van Allen is not as, I think you mean bad, right? Harsh, as they say. Let's see. Let me check a couple other places for comments and then we're going to go to the general because I want you guys to see this. This is really unbelievable. Okay. Are you ready? Can I? No,
go
or
ahead.
you got more on the, no, you got to see this. So you guys remember the guy that everybody kept saying had the mask, right? So Grant Stinchfield shares this. And I thought for sure, like, oh, okay, we're going to find out like what it was. You ready? You're not ready.
Admiral, I wanted to bring up this before we even talk about Iran. Everybody, I mean, you broke the internet known as Mask Man.
It looks like a
mask. Can you pull on your face or something for me, sir? What was going on there?
Grant, it's just a distraction from the important subject we want to talk about, Iran. And at a time like now, we need to be focused on that problem with the president. He's got a challenge on his hand. Got a short
Admiral, hold on a second. You realize if you answer like that, this is going to send the internet into the stratosphere. If you don't tell me what was going on. And you know I love you, and I know you're an American hero, and I don't think you were wearing a mask. But just tell me something so I can let the internet be happy, and then we can move on here.
Grant, the internet's not my problem, okay? I'm here to talk about Iran. The internet's going to do what the internet wants to do, and I'll let it be at that. But let's not lose track of what's important here, where we are with Iran.
Hold on, real quick. Can you just give me a tug and then I'll move on? Just
Grant,
one little tug.
No, you're not going to get anything on me. I'm not going to justify any of that.
All right. Just so everyone out there knows, I tried with unlike Fox News, they didn't ask you about it, which was crazy. I think there's like 60 million, 80 million views on this thing. But I'll let you off the hook, Admiral, because you are an American hero. You really are, sir. And I'm having a little fun with you. And I apologize if I put you in a bad spot. But tell me about Iran.
Leah, so sometimes you have to answer the question. General, we need to know why it looked like you got a hole in your neck. We got to know. You need to tell the people. Millions of people have now seen this hole in your neck. Why do you have a hole in your neck? Why can you not just say, hey, you know what? Ha, 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 so funny. No, it was the lighting on the camera. It was the lighting on the camera. It was like my collar, the way that it was. Like, you got to explain it. Like, give us. I didn't expect him to like tug on his face or nothing. I mean,
no, because I didn't feel like he was wearing a mask in the second one. I felt like he was wearing a mask in the first one. If you compare the two, his face is a lot smoother.
If we are not careful with these AI data centers,
and just show the picture, just kind of make it big.
Yeah, hang on.
That is a wrinkly man.
Okay,
and that is a not wrinkly
Admiral,
man. And what if he and his lips are super tight?
Yeah.
And
you think it was vanity?
Yeah. Like, stop the wrinkles.
No. I don't know.
Does it not? He looks way wrinklier in the other one.
I don't know.
And he's got a flat.
But it's kind of weird. Like, I don't understand this. Why he couldn't just say what was it? Like, just say it was shading the people that, you know, were doing the interview.
Look, his eyes are way more deeper and sunk in, like you would be wearing a mask.
Yeah, I don't know. It's so strange.
Oh my gosh.
There you go. I didn't want to believe it. That he was wearing a mask.
I'm going to see him on, I think, go ahead.
You're kidding.
It doesn't look this.
You want me to go to your ex?
Yeah.
Oh, here we're doing it. We're doing this. This is live. Here we go. Leah's got something. She's going.
Fox News has just aired a man on live television who appears to be wearing a human-like mask. And what makes it even stranger?
No wrinkles up here. No wrinkles on the side of his face. No wrinkles. No wrinkles. No wrinkles.
It can't be just for vanity.
Stranger is that no one may actually know who he really is. In the footage, the man.
Look at all the wrinkles on his forehead. Look at his wrinkles here. Look at his wrinkles there.
And is introduced as a former senior U.S. commander, speaking as a national security analyst. At first, everything seems completely normal, but as the camera gets closer, more and more viewers start noticing a strange detail around his neck. The skin texture there looks extremely unnatural.
Okay, look at this. Look at the smile lines. I'm looking at the smile lines. I'm looking right here. Look at the 11s.
His tan, look at
the 11s. No 11s. No.
And the way that it comes to the lips.
Almost as if there is a layer of something attached between his face and neck. What makes it even more unsettling is that when he talks and turns his head, the area around his neck seems to show a slight separation, almost like a hyper-realistic mask slowly coming loose. That is why, after the video surfaced, conspiracy theories exploded almost instantly. Some people believe this was not just a normal shadow or a lighting issue, but a highly realistic human-like mask. Because today's hyper-realistic silicone masks can look almost completely real. On a regular camera, you might not even be able to tell whether the person is actually who they claim to be. And the scariest part is that this kind of technology is often associated with intelligence agencies, secret operations, and identity disguise. If this really was a mask, then the question becomes much bigger. What do you think?
Well, I don't know. I'm not normally this level of person. So I literally, I'm going to be honest with y'all. When I saw the thing, I was like, it's kind of weird, but maybe he has like an issue. Maybe there was something there. Like, I don't know, medically, I was just giving it the benefit of the doubt. And I expected to watch Grant Stinchfield and have that explained. Like, what was it? Because there's clearly something there. Tell me it's a blob on the camera. Like, I don't care. Give me some sort of lie. I want it. I'm ready. I want to believe that you are who you say you are. But then when you come on and say, like, I'm not going to justify this answer, like this question with the answer, now you have just made the rest of us go,
Yeah, I am definitely.
Now we know, Mr. Dude. Now we are on. You see, these people, our tagline is, it's not just a conspiracy theory if it's actually the truth. And these people make getting to the truth so difficult. They make us live in conspiracy theory land. And I don't want to live there.
Okay, my next conspiracy theory. I want to talk about the guy who took the gold bars. This is the tweet here. I want to talk about this former CIA official, David Rush. I want to know more about David Rush. I need to know how and why he stole $40 million worth of gold bars, $2 million in cash, 35 Rolexes from the CIA. Why does the CIA have 35 Rolexes? He says,
I needed them.
David Rush is a former CIA
this
senior
is
official.
A really low
He's
clip.
behind
I'll get it as loud as I
accused
can.
of stealing 303 gold bars from the agency, worth more than $40 million. While the case is being made public now, the FBI arrested David Rush on May 19th and searched his Northern Virginia home. In addition to the gold, authorities say they found approximately $2 million in currency and approximately 35 Rolex watches. It's unclear what Rush did specifically for the CIA, but according to the affidavit, between on or around November 2025 through on or around March 2026, Rush made several requests to the United States government to obtain a significant quantity of foreign currency and tens of millions of dollars in gold bars for work-related expenses. Rush received the currency and gold bars. Now, the document goes on to allege Rush lied about some of his education while applying for a job with the CIA. Authorities say the deceit goes back to 2009. It's unclear how he was not caught sooner, but we expect more to come out in a trial. In a joint statement, spokespeople for the CIA and FBI tell Fox News on Tuesday, May 19th, is when he was arrested after a CIA internal investigation identified potential violations of the law. CIA Director John Ratcliffe referred the information to the FBI for a law enforcement investigation. The FBI is working closely with our partners at the CIA and DOJ as we continue to investigate this matter fully. A detention hearing to determine whether David...
Okay, make us big again, and then I want you to bring up this one from CBS News. Let me make sure that I'm on Resistance Chicks Church. Okay, so David Rush, a former senior CIA executive with top secret clearance, he was arrested May 19th, 2026.
Is this the right one?
I think this one.
That's fine. I'll go to your history.
CBS News history. $2 million in U.S. currency and these luxury watches before.
Now to a case involving.
Hang on.
It just happened between November of 2025 and March of 2026. He allegedly requested and received.
Oh my gosh.
Large amounts of gold bars.
They gave it to him?
Yes. And foreign currency from the CIA, claiming they were for work-related expenses. How many other people can just be like, hey, I need cash. Hey, I need gold bars. What was he working on? He falsely claimed to be a Navy pilot and to have graduated from Clemson University and another Polytechnic Institute. In reality, he served in the Navy Reserves and had no pilot training. He didn't attend the schools. The CIA, the stinking IA, could not do a background check to see if you actually were actually a Navy pilot. That you want to tell me that you can overthrow Venezuelan governments and you are in charge and you know what's going down with Iran, but you are handing a guy $40 million in gold bars. You're handing him $20 million in cash. He's just randomly telling you, I need all these Rolexes, and you believe him? Like, I got a bridge to sell you. I got 10 bridges to sell you, CIA. Okay, hire me. I'm ready to go. Let me tell you all the schools I went to. Let's play this clip.
Okay.
I can't even. I don't.
Dozens of luxury watches allegedly stashed in the home of a former CIA officer. Now, according to an affidavit, David Rush was arrested last week after the FBI agents raided his Virginia home and found over 300 gold bars worth $40 million. They also found $2 million in U.S. currency and 35 luxury watches. The raid happened as the government was investigating whether Rush lied about his educational and military background. The criminal complaint says that between November of 2025 and March of this year, Rush made several requests to the government to obtain large amounts of foreign currency and tens of millions of dollars in gold bars for work-related expenses. Rush's employer at the time, which was the CIA, was later unable to find the bars or determine what they were being used for. I want to bring in CBS News legal contributor Jessica Levinson joining us now. Jessica, it's such a bizarre case. What can you tell us about the charges that Rush is facing?
So at this point, the charges are based on one federal criminal code, and it's based on stealing public funds. And as you laid out there, I mean, this is a fascinating story. There are a number of parts of the affidavit in the support of the complaint that I think are worth highlighting here. One is that the case is actually centering on the idea that Rush submitted fake time cards, that he was seeking compensation for time that he really was not working. And I think that even came after he was honorably discharged. There were also portions of the affidavit that talk about his alleged lying about his background, and specifically lying on forms to get employment and then lying on forms to get different levels of, I believe it was, clearance. And then, of course, there's the fact that, as we talked about, there's about $40 million in gold bars and then luxury watches and money that was found in his home. And at this point, again, we're looking at that one federal criminal charge, but I think that we could see more as this case continues. Obviously, the case brings up a lot of questions about how somebody who apparently lied about their background was able to obtain this position and then able to, as a workplace expense, receive this much money in workplace expenses. Again, $40 million in gold bars.
Yeah, this is wild, Jessica. And I'm curious, what kind of charges could Rush face after the discovery of the gold bars inside his home? I mean, it feels a little bit like Jimmy Hoffa and tax evasion, but there's a whole host of other things that he could be charged with.
Yes, this may not be the end of the story. I mean, I'm thinking about all the people who fill out time cards and workplace expenses, and they're worried about, oh my gosh, do I have the receipt for this lunch? I think it might have gone over the per diem. Obviously, we're talking about a different situation here. So we could see, in answer to your question, additional charges related to the theft of public funds. And frankly, I think we should be careful in the sense of we don't actually know. I think there are so many lines that need to be connected that would lead us to what additional charges specifically could be brought in this case. Also fascinating that he didn't move the bars, of course, overseas. That might indicate that there was some fear of scrutiny moving the bars from the house overseas. But again, I mean, fascinating tale. I wish I could give specifics of here's exactly what we're going to see next, but I don't think we have those answers.
Also wild, Jessica, that he allegedly lied on a resume and he's working for the CIA and they didn't.
Yeah, that's my. This is what I don't understand. He allegedly fabricated major parts of his background, degrees from Clemson and the Polytechnic Institute, and a Navy pilot credential. Starting with his 2009 application, he was rejected twice before being hired on the third try. These lies persisted for nearly 20 years through multiple promotions to senior executive level and repeated security clearance renewals. They didn't even bother to call the universities, check anything about this guy before they handed him 40 million in gold bars.
7 says, him lying on his job application fits in perfectly with the CIA. Is that not what the CIA does best? Lying. Atlas B says, a detective who was investigating my house being broken into and my high-end audio gear stolen was later found with a lot of stolen audio gear in his home. So these people are investigating crimes and then taking the stuff. I have to tell you, it's okay. So Jim says maybe he had blackmail on his higher ups. When our government officials would like some extra money for like legitimate things, do you know how hard it is to get an extra $40 million for anything? How is it that one guy, does the CIA have just like a bank of gold bars? Where did that, how much was it? $2 million in cash? $20 million. So
was it 220?
It does, you know, at this point, it doesn't matter, does it? My question is, does the CIA have like an endless amount of petty cash?
Endless amount of petty cash.
And do they have like a vault? You know what I think happened? CIA took Fort Knox.
Well, and that's just the thing. So Rand Paul is running with this.
Oh, sure.
And
Good job.
He said, I am requesting an audit of the gold at Fort Knox. And he retweeted it because he requested it February 21st of 2025. And he retweeted it. He said, I'm still requesting an audit of the gold at Fort Knox. Where did this gold come from?
It all went to the CI Bank and A.
Is this Fort Knox gold? Where else would it come from? What is going on? Why do you have 40 million? Is this like are you just calling up SC Bullion and be like, give me all you've got? Like, how does this even work to get that much gold?
I'm trying to tell you.
Does the CIA have its own vault and has all the money from, has all the gold from Fort Knox gone to the CIA?
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. You can imagine the CIA, just being like, showing up with their Men in Black sunglasses and suits and just telling people at Fort Knox, we got to like look at the say. Because here's the deal. I've been to Fort Knox and I'm here to tell you something.
We drove past it.
That thing is not fortified. You know how, like, we have a colloquialism. I really muddled it again. Why can I not say that word? It's the worst word for colloquialisms. And it's like essentially when we want to say that something is fortified, when something is protected, when you can't get in there, it's locked up like Fort Knox. Okay. You're going to have to invert that, meaning when something is easy to be like broken into, when it's rice cakes protecting your, like, your doors made out of rice cakes. Like, oh yeah, it's locked up like Fort Knox. That's what they're going to have to say now.
Okay. Commercial break. Okay. I put this on our Facebook. This is the worst. If police don't want to get a bad name, they're going to have to come out and explain this situation. In Palm Beach, Florida, this video went viral because this woman was pulled over for talking on her phone with her right hand. Now, the rest of us would have
I thought it was using her phone, talking or otherwise.
We're using a phone on it with her right hand while driving. And he says that he saw her using it, talking on it, having it up to her ear or whatever. I don't know what it was. She doesn't have a right hand.
Hello, ma'am. Hey, good morning. I'm Deputy Gasala with the Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office. This is why you're being pulled over. The city of Lake Worth today, we're doing an operation for distracted driver, and you drove past me holding the phone with your right hand, manipulating that phone. I mean, I saw you with the phone in your hand.
Not. So you want to just call this a day? Or?
I don't want to call it a day. You had a hand up manipulating
you just
the
said
phone.
my right hand.
Well, I thought I saw you with your right hand. You
so
had a
you
hand
didn't.
up. The right hand. I saw you manipulate.
So you didn't.
With the right hand, perhaps not, right? But I saw you.
You didn't see me with my right hand.
Okay, so are you
saying that you saw me with my right hand?
I know what I just said. I know what I just said. I'm asking you now. Did you or not have your phone on your hand?
I did not.
You did not have your phone in your hand?
I did not.
Hand to God, you didn't have your phone in your hand.
Hand to God.
The other hand to God, you don't have your phone in your hand.
Hand to God.
Cool. You have your driver's license.
Wait.
Hello,
I
ma'am.
am so mad at him right now that he made her lift her other hand to do the hand of God twice. Watch. Do you swear?
You want to just call this a day? Or?
I don't want to call it a day. You had a hand up manipulating
You just
the
said
phone.
my right hand.
Well, I thought I saw you with your right hand. You
so
had a
you
hand
didn't.
up. The right hand. I saw you
So
manipulate.
you didn't.
With the right hand, perhaps not, right? But I saw you.
You didn't see me with my right hand.
Okay, so are you
saying that you saw me with my right hand?
I know what I just said. I know what I just said. I'm asking you now. Did you or not have your phone on your hand?
I did not.
You did not have your phone in your hand?
I did not.
Hand to God, you didn't have your phone in your hand.
Hand to God.
The other hand to God, you didn't have your phone in your hand.
Hand to God.
He made her lift up her other hand because maybe she was lying.
Because she
doing
doesn't
hand to
have
God
a hand.
with no hand.
If you do a hand to God with no hand, it's like, saying something with your fingers crossed or something like that. You know what I'm saying?
Cool. You have your driver's license, registration?
Oh my goodness.
So here's the worst part. She's literally headed to court for this.
So it's been done. You
have another one?
I do. You can scroll
good.
down.
I need to see this. Okay.
Turns out you can still get a ticket for driving with a device in your right hand, even if you don't have a right hand.
All right, man. So you're gonna receive a citation for wireless communication device handheld while driving. We got to put the phone down as we operate a motor vehicle.
Oh, and you put on there that you saw me with my right hand holding it. Yeah.
I did not put that. No, if you want to take it.
But that's what you said when you pulled me over. Yes, that you saw me holding my device with my right hand.
I'm not disagreeing with you. Yes, that's what I said.
Okay.
Yes. So if you want to take it to court.
And that's what you saw.
That's what I said.
That's what you said you saw.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. If you
Okay.
want to take it to court. Option 5 on the back of the ticket. That's how you take that ticket to court. Do you
Okay.
have any questions for me?
No. Thank you.
Have a good day.
She handled that very well.
She did. And so she had to go to court, but when she went to court, the officer he petitioned the court to drop the charges because of insufficient evidence.
How about because you're a jerk? I don't use that phrase a lot, but that makes you like a very low bottom feeder. I'm surprised they aren't firing you.
So I have it up here. She goes, she has court this morning.
Okay.
Or a couple days ago.
Okay.
God,
This is
God bless this
unbelievable.
poor woman.
I
Oh my
know.
gosh.
Okay, so we had court this morning and dismissed. So apparently it was dismissed over the weekend. Yesterday night when I went and checked the time to make sure that I was going to be there on time, all that jazz, it showed dismissed, but I am not one for taking a chance. So I went ahead and went to court this morning and got a handy dandy paper that says dismissed. And you guys, I cannot make up the reason behind why it was dismissed. It says lack of evidence. Bruh, we knew that already. Okay? Also, side note, you can watch me on CBS mornings this Friday at 7 a.m. So tune in, I guess.
That's awesome. Good for her. Oh,
that officer has to be fired. He's like,
can you fix that? It's driving me nuts.
that officer has to be fired. I think that is like a fireable offense.
I do too. The way he handled that, like, here's the
hand
thing.
to God to an amputee. That's like saying to a guy who has no leg, well, stand on your right leg.
So
well, I can't.
Okay.
Well, fine, stand on your left leg then.
Okay.
It's like,
so here's the question that I have. Do we have any police officers watching live? Probably not. But if we do, I would love for you to like comment in the chat or leave this afterwards. Am I wrong in assuming that like when you guys get into cop mode, it like turns off a little bit of your like humanity? Like because I've noticed this
I've
about
seen
some
it,
cops
yeah.
where it's just like you put on this giant defensive wall and I think it shuts off part of the brain.
It does.
Maybe for good reason, because otherwise people would be able to manipulate you. You wouldn't be able to think as sharply. You know what I mean? Like you have to assume the person is guilty and you treat them that way. This is how we were treated at the pharmacist, right? Like that guy had that like shut off, like you are bad no matter what you show me. No matter what evidence you're throwing in my face, I know that you're guilty. And then he walks away from the situation and then like his real brain, like he wakes up. I'm not dissing cops. I think that maybe there's a survival or, you know, kind of army mode that you go into that maybe is necessary, but sometimes it spills over to like interactions with just regular civilians instead of chasing bad guys. I don't know. Like, I just would love to know what goes on in your brain. Like if you can kind of feel that thing go on, because clearly it happens with some police officers like this one. Like, I bet he's like really feels stupid. Like, why did I do that? I'm so dumb.
And now the whole world is talking about you.
And now the
because
whole
you
world
are
is talking
so
about
dumb.
you.
You're so dumb. That was a dumb thing to do. That was so dumb.
Yeah.
And then here's the thing. When you, and she says, can we just call it a day? You have to learn to swallow your pride and say,
yeah,
yeah,
like,
we need to call it a day.
You know what? Okay, I guess I did not see
Yeah.
you with. Oh my gosh, the other cops probably make a huge joke about this guy, says Jim. Yeah, Wicked Psych says still cost the taxpayers and counted towards his quota if he has one. Yeah, that's true.
So we're going to have on a fellow Rama person,
Tracy Chapman.
Tracy Chapman, who came to us via our exposure video on Craig Hagan. And I am going to talk more about that. But she's going to come on and talk about abuse survivors and domestic violence.
Yeah. On a Healing for the Fractured
specifically
Soul
like
on the 9th.
Women in domestic violence situations.
10 days away.
I want to play this because you see a common thing on Twitter, and I've only ever seen it on Twitter. The men are so angry because of the statistic that 70% of divorces are filed by women. I have only known personally like one wife who left her husband for after an affair or something. Most women try to stay and work it out while their husbands are having affairs and doing all kinds of things. And that's what James Sexton is, a top divorce lawyer with 25 years of experience. He goes on Matt Walsh and he explains the statistics here of these 70% of divorces.
Who commences a divorce action is not always, I would even say not often, an indicator of who wanted to end the marriage. It just means who filed the paperwork. So if a woman marries a man and she realizes, hey, I've cashed out everything I can for this guy and now I want to bounce on the relationship, I'm filing a divorce action. You're right. If 73% of divorces were commenced by women under those circumstances, that's a strong argument. 50% would be a strong argument. The reality is much more frequently than that, I see a guy who runs off with his secretary, stops paying any expenses related to the residence. He's been the breadwinner of the family for so many years, and he's not going to just set up like a franchise. Like he's leaving this wife and 2 kids, and, you know, a man who leaves his wife for his mistress just leaves a job opening. So now he's going to go to the mistress, and he's going to have a family with her now, but he's not going to take care of his responsibilities towards the family he already has. What does that woman do? She comes into my office, and she says, help. You know, the mortgage isn't being paid. He changed the utilities to my name. I don't have a job, or I have a job as a teacher part-time because I've been raising our children. What do I do? And I have to say to her, you have to file for divorce. And she says, well, I don't want a divorce. I'm not the one who wanted a divorce. I want to figure out a way to reconcile. I want to go to counseling. I want to work it out. I'll forgive him for the transgression if we could just figure it out for our kids. But the problem is, you know, you can't force someone to stay married to you. You can't force someone to come back home and pay the bills unless you've filed a divorce action. So we file divorce actions all the time for people who do not want to get divorced, but who are in a position. I can't just go to court without an action and say, Judge, can you issue an order? You know, I have to have an underlying action, and the action is an action for divorce. So that's why that statistic is so wildly misleading. Now, again, I'm not saying that there aren't plenty of examples of women taking the advantages that the system gives to them financially or when it comes to custody and weaponizing that against men. But you cannot just look at that statistic and say, oh, that's proof that women are cashing out of marriages. I cannot tell you how many clients, how many women in a 25-year career, just in my office, I have seen who do not want to commence a divorce action. They want to figure it out. They want to reconcile. They want to go to mediation if they are going to split up. They want to be friendly and figure it out. But the only way to get a judge involved and temporary orders in place is by filing something.
Wow. I think that maybe perhaps some of our viewers, Leah, are not aware of the vitriol, at least on Twitter,
so bad
that men have towards women. Now, it's a certain group of men. I'm not throwing all of you under the bus. There's a very specific group of men, and what are they called? The manosphere, or
yeah, like they say, the system incentivizes women to quit, and who can blame them? A new free life paid for by your ex-husband? Yes, please. Men see the issue, but women in society will never consider a policy that restricts women's responsibilities free existence.
This is ridiculous. And so that, Leah just read one comment. That is the overwhelming response from men on Twitter towards women. Instead of saying, why do you think this woman had to get a divorce? Men do here, and here's why they think that. Because unfortunately, you men, you don't understand the way that women are. When women bond to a man, please hear me on this. It is so intense, especially when that man is the breadwinner. The woman really is designed to want to have her husband find her desirable, to want to have the husband protect and to provide and to be engaged and to raise the, help raise the kids and all of that. And so for men to just automatically jump to this idea that women just want to cash out, and I'm not saying, listen to me, I'm not trying to say that men don't have a connection as well and that men don't feel like their soul is being ripped out. This happened to my cousin. His wife had an affair and left him, and his soul was ripped out. He was bonded to her like soul bond, okay? So I see it on both sides, but there is something that is really next level that women will go through literal hell and back again for a man, by and large. Not all, but by and large, it's just the way that we are designed.
This person says, not saying he's wrong, but never in my life have I ever heard this being the case. It's almost always the woman divorcing the man because she's unhappy, not even cheating or anything else.
That's ridiculous.
Just unhappy and would rather go it alone and see where it goes.
I have never, one time in all of the women that I have known that got a divorce, did that woman want the divorce because she just was unhappy.
But she went away.
Well, my cousin, that's who I just mentioned. But I just mean like all the women that I have known. Here's the deal. What I mean is that was an adulterous affair. I just mean for like citing like, I'm unhappy. Here's the thing that, again, men, a lot of these men specifically don't understand. I'm going to put our viewers in a better box. Most of these women have endured incredible abuse at husbands that look at pornography. Maybe they visit prostitutes, you name it. Like it is the end of the game for them. Maybe their husband is a gambler. Maybe, like they have a drug addiction. These are the grounds for divorce that makes the woman unhappy, but that's a ridiculous title to put on it. But here's the problem with these specific men. Almost all of them believe that a deep porn addiction, or even visiting prostitutes, even some domestic violence, a gambling addiction, that you can't put food on the table because your husband's always, spending the money. Like, they don't believe that any of that is grounds for divorce. Most of these men don't believe that anything is grounds for a woman to leave her husband. They're in such they hate women. Everybody thinks that there's this like misogyny, it is so I thought it did not exist. I truly, because everybody's like, oh, Donald Trump's a misogynist. I don't think Donald Trump is a misogynist. These men, and they're all Christians. Almost all of them are Christians, which again, they say that they're Christians. They're not. They're literally full of Satan. But there's such a large number, and they're growing, They're spreading. They're the ones that are out there going like, oh, you know, I don't know. Anyway, I just, soul tie is a curse, says Mark. Amen.
It's, you know, yeah, I just thought that was, you know, when you just read the comments of the men, women are evil,
so
women
bad.
are evil, women are evil. It's like, well, no wonder you're not married. No wonder your wife left you. You know, if you want to remarry again, you have to say, well, that was a horrible thing, but most women are good, but they can't say it. And on the feminist side, a lot of women can't say most men are good. It's, you know, it's unfortunate.
So 8Ball says, check the comments. Grove points out that his explanation doesn't counter the actual statistics. See the whole explanation in the comment section. He's putting that, I think, for all of you too, but I don't mind reading this a little bit here. That many women file because the husband has already emotionally and financially left, abandoned the family, stopped paying bills, etc. Quantitative data directly testing this is limited. No major national study cleanly quantifies the percentage of female filed divorces, etc. Lawyers and anecdotal reports, including from therapists and divorce professionals, frequently note wives filing after their husbands leave or disengage to secure court orders for kids, housing, and finances.
His video was not saying that 70% of divorces are not initiated by women. It's that it's not these women just wanting to cash out.
Right. Women report higher rates of feeling emotionally abandoned, unequal loads, disconnection, which can precede former filing. In Rosenfield's work and related studies, married women report lower relationship quality than married men, often citing lack of commitment, emotional disconnect, or one-sided effort. Filing doesn't equal wanted the divorce most. Legal experts echo Sexton, the one party must initiate paperwork to get enforceable orders, temporary custody, exclusion of home use, etc. If a husband walks out or stops contributing, the wife often has to file the active
this is interesting because this goes back to C.I. Schofield. Schofield abandoned his wife.
Yeah.
Abandoned her, left her, and she in the early 1900s had to file for divorce because he just left her. Just absolutely left her and after he had wrung her family dry for finances. You know?
Yeah.
So
Let me read some comments over here from women that would know. Heather says, good men won't call out their buddies who are abusive because a lot of the time they have no idea that their friends are cruddy. She says, not one single woman of the dozens of women I know in abusive marriages, and they are divorcing. It's after years of trying to work it out. Deb says, clearly they aren't on the same divorce Facebook page that I'm in. I would say it's about 5 to 10% of the women that want the divorce, and usually for good reason. Heather says, and a lot of men use their wives and kids as a status trophy. My wife and my kids, it makes them sound like such a good guy when they aren't, when they very much are not. So thank you, ladies, for that. I do appreciate you guys. And thank you, 8Ball, for giving us the Grok answer. Deb says, I just spent the last 3 hours on the phone with my ex. Go figure. We never talked on the phone that long when we were married. Oh my gosh, that's so ironic. Okay, so my final thought on that one specifically is that we are living in an age and a time that's not normal. These divorce rates and the reasons for the divorce, the statistics are so much higher. These women are suffering in a way, and men are too. Like I said, my cousin's, wife had an affair, and it's so much more acceptable. Like she's able to just like go on with life. Like, you know what I mean? I don't, the pornography, I don't know, like, yes, C.I. Schofield, but by and large, people just stuck marriages out. They may live in a miserable one. As a matter of fact, our old friend Edna, she was in her 90s when she died. She was from Australia. She unfortunately was a war bride from Australia. She married an American, and I think she was living in the UK at the time, wasn't she? When she met him in World War II, and she came and lived in America, and immediately he was an abusive drunk, an abusive alcoholic, and she just stayed married to him until he committed suicide in a wheelchair. He was in a wheelchair and he committed suicide. So what I'm saying is, like, back then people just stuck it out.
Yeah.
You just stuck marriages out.
All right. Well, Massey is going to be sticking it out here. He says there are 20 other men involved with Epstein in the sex trafficking network, including a high-ranking government official, and he will be reading names.
You replied, according to the transcript, there is no credible information that he trafficked them to anyone else. According to victims who cooperated with the FBI in that investigation, these documents in FBI possession, your possession, detail at least 20 men, including Mr. Jess Staley, CEO of Barclays Bank, who Jeffrey Epstein trafficked victims to. That list also includes at least 19 other individuals, one Hollywood producer worth a few $100 million, one royal prince, one high-profile individual in the music industry, one very prominent banker, one high-profile government official, one high-profile former politician, one owner of a car company in Italy, one rock star, one magician, at least 6 billionaires, including a billionaire from Canada. You replied, according to the transcript, there is no credible...
Okay. Yeah, so we'll see. These are actual names that could be named. I know Howard Lutnick is probably on that list.
But what good is it going to do? Let's say he names the names. Let's say he names the names. Okay, they're on the list. We know clearly that these people, nothing is going to touch them, even if their names get read. Like, I want him to read the names, and I want to know. I think we're probably going to not be surprised about any of them. But I still don't believe that anything's going to happen. I don't even know why the Trump administration is making a big stink about it, because they know that they're not going to do anything about it.
Yeah.
Like, who cares? Okay, your name's on the Epstein list. At this point, it's a dead thing. Like, nobody is going to do anything about it. And all the powers that be don't care. The DOJ is not going to touch it. Like, because here's the deal. Just reading the names is not a smoking gun of this. There's a video of this guy touching people, little girls, whatever. Like, it's
yeah.
just
So
not...
Pam Bondi has been brought in on questioning. She is now saying that she didn't have anything to do with Epstein, that she had Todd Blanche do all the things. And Mike Johnson is not swearing Bondi in, meaning that if she lies, she can be held responsible for it.
Oh my gosh.
Today's ridiculous charade has made astonishingly clear that the United States Department of Justice has been weaponized by Donald Trump to ensure that the most massive cover-up in American history is carried out. And this is being enabled by Republicans in Congress, led by Republican Chairman James Comer and Speaker of the House Mike Johnson. This entire Epstein investigation, led by Chairman Comer, has been absurd. We have 2 legal subpoenas against former Attorney General Pam Bondi. She is supposed to be here under oath today on video, answering questions for the American people about her role and the direct hand that she had in this cover-up. Instead, she is deflecting, she is refusing to answer questions, and she continues to refuse to answer specific questions about the President of the United States. It is so clear that whether it be Pam Bondi, whether it be Chairman Comer, whether it be Mike Johnson, the entire party is terrified of Donald Trump and his retaliation as it pertains to the cover-up of the Epstein files. It's unacceptable. It is notable that she continues to blame Todd Blanche and Kash Patel. We, of course, want to speak to them, but I think what I want to make clear to the American public and to everybody, and to the survivors especially, is that we are not going to give up on this. I think Republicans believe that they just kind of carry out these...
I think that Republicans feel like they don't want to get to the bottom of it because they do think that Donald Trump has something to do with it, and they don't want to know. They don't want to know. I truly believe that.
And I'll read you a little bit from her statement, her opening statement that we got a hold of that she is giving to that committee. She is, according to those prepared remarks, saying that to the best of my knowledge, the Department of Justice produced everything required under the Epstein Transparency Act. She also acknowledges that there were some errors made here, especially when it comes to redactions. You may remember that a lot of Epstein survivors were upset that some names were not redacted in these files, and that was a violation of their rights, and also something that members of Congress, when they passed this law, wanted to make sure didn't happen. But she also acknowledges that she did not lead every aspect of this case and delegated much of this, including the review of those documents, to her then Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche. And I'll read you a little bit from...
So Todd Blanche is now going to be the kind of the scapegoat. Yeah.
It is clear in just this part of the interview that she continues to push all of the investigation and the blame on acting AG Todd Blanche. She said, and I quote, Acting AG Blanche was managing the entire investigation, end quote. And what you're going to hear in that interview, and what she's saying here in her words and remarks, is that it was Todd Blanche, the current acting AG, that was leading the Epstein investigation. And quite frankly, all of the mistakes that we saw, the redactions, not protecting survivors, she continues to push that back onto the acting AG.
You're right, Michelle, to get upset and to say, so what? So what? So what? Well, there are criminals that have not been, and you can make us big, not been held accountable for any of this. And we do know that Epstein was running a blackmail ring. It was on the behalf of Mossad, which is Israel. And Israel has to cover up their portion of this. And Trump is highly connected to all of these people. And he even put Howard Lutnick as like what is he? I always forget. He's not the Treasury Secretary, Finance, whatever.
8Ball says, I hope that he tells them all the names. Trump doesn't like it because when the names are aired, he loses his blackmail power over them.
Secretary of Commerce.
Jim says he better be wearing a Kevlar vest. Wicked Psych says there is the legal answer right there. Accused are allowed to know who their accuser is in a trial. Well, that doesn't mean, so it wasn't a trial though. So the names were supposed to be redacted because we weren't on trial. This was just a hearing.
It was just releasing
They were just releasing them. So that doesn't have to be public. But good catch. There is an element of that, but just doesn't apply to here, I don't think. Let's see. Jim says, why should an accusation be redacted? Plenty of people deal with accusations, true or not. It was to protect the names of the victims. Keep in mind that Virginia Guffrey is dead.
Yeah.
Just before her book was going to be published.
Sure, right.
She was
exactly.
I don't want to say she was killed because I don't know how she ended up dead, but I do know that she kept saying, I'm not suicidal. I don't want to die.
Right.
She moved to, what was it, like Australia or something like that? Like she was trying to protect herself and she just so happens to die. So when you say, I don't think you mean this,
just
Jim.
so happens to die.
And yeah, you're like, well, why does it matter if their names are redacted?
Because this is
these people might get.
This is the most high-level criminal ring we've ever seen.
Yeah.
This is an international criminal ring. And Epstein connected to everyone. I mean, like, you got the Princess of Norway.
Yeah.
You've got Lord Mandelson in the UK.
So these women they are bringing charges. They're bringing charges as a group, and within their group, their names are protected, and that is totally legal to do. Like, they have every legal right to band together as victims of one man, and then sign their names to that, but then that does not get made public, okay? So they are, and they have been for years. You can be a Jane Doe in a case.
Yeah.
It legally, but what it means is it doesn't go public. Okay. So there's a lot of Jane Does in this case, and they want their names protected because of what they went through. And so it's not just that they may get whacked off, but they were young girls. And a lot of people believe that they willfully engaged in this. So you're going to get a lot of harassment of this was just, you wanted it, you know, all of that. So when you are a victim of sexual crime like this, you have every right to be protected.
All right, I'm going to
remain
Glenn
anonymous.
Greenwald took on MAGA people in a show called Jubilee. I want to play a clip or two from this. I thought it was very enlightening to see the back and forth because Glenn Greenwald is what you would call, he was a Trump supporter, and I believe he voted for him. He's a lefty. He's very much anti-war. He's gay. I don't really like him. I don't like some of the moral issues that he has. I'm just going to throw that out there. Personal moral issues. But on these debates, I think he's pretty good and draws some subjects to the forefront, like poison that needs to come out.
The other night, what day is it? Maybe it was Tuesday night. I think it was after Healing for the Fractured Soul or something. And I was exhausted and I just wanted to go to bed and go to sleep. And we still hadn't eaten yet. So we sit down to eat, and Leah went to bed, and I sat and watched the entire thing by myself. You started it. I didn't even. You're like, I want to watch this. It's so great. So you still haven't watched the whole thing.
Not all of it.
I watched every daggum inch of this. It was fascinating to me. These people are just, so it's like the ones that Charlie Kirk has done. You guys have seen them, where the people have to like hit the buzzer and race to the chair to answer. Is he going to start off with what the premise is here, or should I just tell them? So he comes with, I think, 3 premises, right? And then they get 20 minutes.
3 claims.
3 claims. Well, premises, whatever. 3 claims. And then these people come to argue and debunk them, and they do a terrible
do
job.
it as a group. So if they feel like the person in the chair isn't doing a job,
then they raise up a flag. Like, we got to get somebody else in there to do a better job than what you are doing.
My next round of claim is
Here
the
it is.
Trump administration has been considerably more corrupt than the Biden administration.
All right, if you'd like to debate this claim, please get to the chair in 3, 2, 1.
Go.
Oh, this lady does a terrible job. This is the clip you chose?
There's so many things I could talk for hours
her
on
name's
end.
Michelle. Of course it is.
Even giving Kamala Harris an appointation of, I don't know if that's a word, but appointing her as the next candidate because he wasn't able to run. You're America First, right? That's what
Right,
you're saying,
uh-huh.
right? Okay, so do you agree that it was corrupt?
So I'm somebody who believes that there was a lot of corruption in the Biden administration. My claim is not that the Biden administration was free of meaningful corruption. It had a lot of corruption. My claim is that the Trump administration has a lot more corruption. And we can talk about what those financial deals are.
Please.
Okay, well, I'll just give you one example.
Okay.
Jared Kushner, who's now running Middle East foreign policy and negotiating Middle East policy for Donald Trump, his son-in-law.
And doing a great job.
Right before he was put into that position just a year.
I hate to interrupt his stream of thought. I just want you to pay attention. Like, these people, especially like her, these Trump people are so, they don't actually have, a lot of them do not have actual talking points. They're just enthusiastic fans and doing a great job. Like, everything's great. Everything's wonderful, but she doesn't know anything. Like, she was probably one of the worst out of all of them. She was just a ditz and an airhead that came to the table.
So earlier, he created a hedge fund, and the number one investor were the Saudis, who invested $2 billion in Jared Kushner's fund, both as a reward for a job well done, for the service that the Trump administration in the first term gave to the Saudis, and also for making sure that the Saudis' interests are protected. It's basically a bribe directly to the Trump family.
$2 billion investment. You guys don't get a loan like that. Remember, you guys know 1,000 million?
Yeah.
So $2,000 million Saudi Arabia made this investment in Jared Kushner's business. He's not doing a good job in the Middle East. He's not lining his pockets to like Burisma money of $50,000 or $75,000 a month.
Right.
We're talking $2,000 million. It's an infinitesimal amount of money that you and I will never wrap our brain around. But because of Trump's position, because of what's happening in Iran right now, this is why I'm so mad about what's happening in Iran, because it's all about this stuff. It's all about lining the pockets of his friends and his family.
The Trump family created a crypto company called World Liberty Financial, 49% of which is now owned by the United Arab Emirates.
Oh, I thought we weren't for radical Islam. I thought we were against Islam. Oh, we're against Islam. I don't know if you know this, but Saudi Arabia is a radical Islamic country. Radical Islam. We're going to stop Islam in Iran. I'm not pointing out anybody's particular. You guys, they're not trying to stop Islam, and they certainly aren't trying to stop it in Iran, because we just made Jared Kushner made a $2 billion deal with Saudi Arabia. In addition to that, the UAE, another radical Islamic country, okay? They purchased 49% interest, almost half of the World Liberty Financial, a Trump family-owned venture, for $500 million day before Trump's second inauguration. We are not trying to stop. They want Islam. They love Islam. Islam is helpful to them.
Heard so much here about how important the UAE is, about how Saudi Arabia is, and they're funneling gigantic sums of money directly to the Trump family.
Okay, but look at, I just want to interject a little bit, because look at Nancy Pelosi. Look at all the inside trading.
I agree with you.
Nancy Pelosi, okay, inside trading is awful, but it does not equal. We're now at $2.5 billion with a B from just 2 radical Islamic countries into the Trump administration, into the Trump, not administration, but family. And that whole cryptocurrency thing was a scam. Just like the Trump phones. They're ripping innocent women like her off.
It goes way beyond that.
No, that's
so
not
both
way beyond
sides
that.
do it. Is it right? No, but Biden administration.
Both sides don't do this. Both sides don't do this. Nobody on the left has been able to secure a $2 billion contract with anybody. Okay, it doesn't exist.
All of the people on the Democratic side are doing it so much worse on such a larger scale. It's affecting.
Can I just say, she has no idea what worse is, and she has no idea what larger is.
America.
I worked a lot on the Hunter Biden corruption case, principally that he got $50,000 a month from a company in Ukraine called Burisma when Vice President Biden had immense influence in Ukraine.
It was way more than
and
that.
as Andy McCarthy said, who's a longtime Republican conservative prosecutor, in order to talk about or compare the corruption, similar corruption by the Trump sons and by Jared Kushner, you have to add 2 zeros to the amounts. And I think that's what the concern is.
Biden was
Okay,
so
we gotta move on. Thank you. You've been
Okay, but here, and we'll listen to the rest of whoever comes up. I think that whoever comes up next does a much better job than her. But I have to hand her the confidence award. You come up and you just act confident, and she says like, well, it was way more than that. Like, these are phrases you can just throw out, like, you know, the Biden administration was like the most corrupt, and you just end with that. Like, these are not facts. These are how you feel about it. You have to give facts. You can't just say they are doing it on a much bigger scale. That's a claim of opinion, not actual numbers. And so what Glenn Greenwald is bringing is he's like, listen, the corruption by the Biden administration, you have to add 2 zeros to that when you add it to the Trump family. And she's, you know, she just because she feels like they're more corrupt. And here's the thing. I want her to be right. I want her to be right. I want the Bidens to be more corrupt. But here's the problem. Do you know why? It's not that their character is not as corrupt as the Trumps.
No,
the Trumps are just so much smarter. They're so much better at business. Biden is an idiot. Hunter Biden is a colossal idiot. If you want to say who is the bigger idiot, we have no contest. None whatsoever. Leah and I do not come up here and claim that Trump is an idiot or that his sons are stupid. They're incredibly smart. Jared Kushner, like, and I don't wicked smart. Okay.
Yeah.
These people are smart to a crazy level. And so of course their ability to do, if she's saying they're doing more corrupt, what she's saying is both sides do it. She said that out of her own mouth. Both sides do it. Okay. So let me ask you this. You agree that Sleepy Joe can't put 2 sentences together. You also know that Hunter Biden is a crack addict and also can hardly put 2 sentences together, doesn't even have any teeth left. And you're telling me that if both sides do it, the dumb crack addict side is going to be bigger and better than the business smart savvy side? That's ridiculous.
It was actually fun doing this.
Yeah. How's it going?
Good. How are you?
Good.
Good. So I think that we can see corruption pretty, well in the Biden administration. You've got Joe Biden's drug addict son that got convicted on gun charges, on tax evasion charges, and Joe Biden used his pardoning power to erase that completely. But I think that we can see corruption in its finest when you have a senile old man like Joe Biden, who is getting propped up and is basically a puppet for the Democratic Party.
So I think when we talk about corruption, we're not talking generally about just bad acts or malfeasance in government. We're generally talking about the influence of ill-gotten gains or malicious motives or self-interested motives in government decisions. What made Hunter Biden, the Hunter Biden case, corrupt was not his drug addiction or his tax evasion. Those were personal bad acts on his part.
Well, it's a bad use of it's a bad use of the pardoning power for Joe Biden to do that. It shows clear corruption.
Yeah, I mean, President Trump has pardoned dozens of people, all of whom are very wealthy, who stole money from investors, who have friends that are very close to the Trump administration. There's a whole pardon industry surrounding the Trump White House where if you have enough money and you can pay $1 million or $1.5 million or $2 million to close Trump associates, you will get a pardon. But the problem with the Hunter Biden case, what made that so concerning was that he was monetizing the influence that Joe Biden had in Ukraine in order to get all kinds of money for himself. This is what Donald Trump Jr. is doing, Eric Trump is doing, and especially Jared Kushner is doing in the region of the world
Don't
that
shake
President
your head,
Trump
it's
has been most
absolutely true.
influential, which is the Persian Gulf, where there's the most amount of money. Billions of dollars have flowed to the Trump family through properties and entities that they've created, including World Liberty Financial, including Jared Kushner's. Does that not concern you the way it did with Hunter Biden?
I'm not.
We're talking about billions of dollars.
Right. Well, I mean, the HOC did report that the Biden family received $24 to $27 million.
I'm talking about billions.
So,
Again,
yeah, we're talking about billions. So basically, you're just basically saying that Trump was better at being
No, I'm saying it's great. It's more damaging corruption.
So you're criticizing Trump for being more of a businessman, a better businessman than Joe Biden.
It's like saying, oh, that guy stole a Milky Way and that guy defrauded billions of dollars from old ladies, so this guy's better than this one at being a crook, being a corrupt,
they're similar,
being a corrupt criminal. Yes, I do think Trump's better at that.
Yeah, I mean, corruption is similar as far as how it's monetized.
And that's what you were saying, and that honestly is what that is what they're saying. But at least they're better at it.
And so
I am one of those people that, guys, I will call out Hunter Biden, but I'm going to tell you, cognitive dissonance is to say the same thing as if Jared Kushner were a Democrat, which he is, by the way, and he were the son of Joe Biden, would you be upset? You would be.
Exactly.
And it would not stop.
Right.
And so we don't lean left, we don't lean right, we lean on the word of God, and we are going to call out the left, and we are going to call out the right, we will call out Trump, and we will call out Biden. And if you can't do that, then you are in a cult.
Yeah.
You're in a cult. And if you can't see that $50,000 from Burisma is bad, but $2 billion from Saudi Arabia is infinitesimally, I think that's a word.
No, I think that means is that
infinitesimal.
Okay.
And Malik.
Seven Hands wants to disagree with me, and I actually appreciate this disagreement. She says, I beg to differ with you, Michelle. I think that Trump is just as much of an idiot as Biden. Just look at the way that Bibi has been able to pull Trump's strings, and then Trump jumped like a jumping jack. Let's see. 8Ball says, out of the approximate 80 billion sent to Ukraine, about 50 billion came back to America, not to Americans, but to big businesses, politicians, MIC, all of that. See the comments section. Wicked Sykes says, California has that much just in fraudulent Medicare scams. Chris says, I heard that it's one of the rights of the people of this great nation to determine what is truly for the common good or the public good. It's so true. Wicked Sykes says, and that's not a taxpayer-funded contract, not to mention the high-speed rail for $55 billion that never was built. Not making excuses. I don't know the details behind the Trump accusations in this story. And then back to the Islam comment, 8Ball says, true. So why don't we, the people, push to take out the Muslims in Iran hierarchy as a first stop to stopping Islam? If that was the reason why we were doing it, if like the United States decided we're going to do an all-out blitz and go after all the Islamic nations to take out Islam.
Well, I got a video for you. Trump says if he's going to blow up Oman if they don't start behaving like other people.
Like other people who, though?
Is
it the next one?
Other people.
One more?
One more.
Over a period of time.
No, the strait's going to be open to everybody.
And who would control it?
It's international waters. Nobody's going to control it. We're going to watch over it. We'll watch over it, but nobody's going to control it. That's part of the negotiation that we have. They would like to control it. Nobody's going to control it. It's international waters, and Oman will behave just like everybody else, so we'll have to blow them up. They understand that. They'll be fine.
That happening over a period.
Or we're going to have to blow them up. They'll be fine.
Okay, play the next clip here because this is Joe Kent confirms that the Israel lobby marched in, dictated terms, and manipulated intelligence to force Trump into the Iran war.
Is march right in and basically dictate terms to us and manipulate American intelligence, manipulate the media, manipulate those around President Trump to put us into this war. I knew that I had to leave. I knew I had to start speaking out because I couldn't stand by and watch more body bags come into Dover and have this. And I think it was important to get the truth out there because I personally, had I not been there at the executive branch level, I would believe the influence that the Israeli lobby has. Again, forgive me for my ignorance. I read all the books and I had seen it a little bit when I was in Special Forces and when I was in the CIA as an operations officer, but I didn't truly see the level of influence they had until I was actually working at the executive branch. And I know a lot of people in this room, I see Scott's here. Scott's been talking about this for decades, really. But I honestly, until I saw it firsthand, I didn't know actually how bad it truly is. I think if most Americans knew the extent at which the Israeli lobby, the Israeli influence, whatever you want to call it, influenced our decisions to get us into this war and all the other, post 9/11 Middle Eastern wars, they would be absolutely furious.
I would be, and I am.
Into this war. That's a big reason why I had to step away and resign. Number one, I morally couldn't stand by the war. I fought the war on terror For most of my adult life, I did 11 combat tours. I truly believed in what we were doing at the very, very beginning. I wanted to defend my country. I believed we had been attacked. I believed the line. Forgive me, I was 23 years old. I believed that there was weapons of mass destruction in Iraq and that we were going to go find some Al-Qaeda guys over there. It didn't take me very long to figure out, though, that we had been lied to. And I was deeply frustrated and angered at those in my government who knew better. But in particular, a lot of the combat veterans who had fought in our previous wars, who had fought in Vietnam, who were now part of the government in 2002, 2003, and they knew they were lying us into a war. Good men like Colin Powell, who knew better. Their legacy essentially was selling us and getting us into the Iraq war. And so I made a promise to myself in my 20s that I never knew I'd actually have to cash.
So I want to play this clip with Megyn Kelly. She goes, you look across the board at the Trump family. I've never seen a family get so rich off of a presidency. And it's impossible. No, it's never happened.
You know what, Megan? I got to push back a little bit because you know Trump didn't take a salary while he's president. So I don't know what you're talking about.
Right. I mean, you look at like across the board of the Trump family. I've never seen a family get so rich off of a presidency.
Right.
And it happened at the same time as we now have a Supreme Court ruling that basically says any official act he takes while in the White House is protected.
Right.
And those two things are, seem to be giving him some sort of a hall pass that could very much get abused. I don't want to, say he's crossed the line legally because I actually haven't taken a close look at that. But, he's done a lot that pushes it right up to the line. And I just don't think we want our presidents or their families getting rich off of the presidency. And I really want to know more about all these trades that are happening on Iran right before he makes the announcements. Like, this is not the way it's supposed to be. This, even one of those would have caused a massive scandal 12, 13 years ago. We shouldn't be so far afield that like these obvious ethical questions get skirted past with just a shoulder shrug, because it does matter.
So here's the thing that I when you talk to Trump supporters about Trump getting rich, what they always quote is that during his first term, he came out less wealthy than when he went in, right? Like he lost money coming out of the presidency. And I don't have a problem with that claim because you want to know something? By and large, 2016 to 2020 Trump was like the dude. Loved that guy. Now, I think that there were a lot of warning signs that the rest of us that we did miss because we were just so rah Trump and high on winning and we gave a lot of passes. But by and large, that was a different guy. Like completely different dude. He's not even halfway through his second term and he's what, $300 million richer than when he went in?
Way more. I don't know.
It's something crazy. I mean, personally, not just the boys, right? I don't know what the exact number is, but it's crazy. So why is it that the Trump supporters go back to the Trump that we all agreed with? Like, we didn't have a problem with that guy. Like, by and large, okay? Hang on, wait, what?
So his net worth is $6.5 billion compared to $3.9 billion in 2024. So since becoming president, he's gained about $3 billion.
He's gained
$300 million, $3
$3 billion since he took office.
Well, and here's the Trump meme coined at the World Liberty Financial Venture, which is partly owned by the UAE.
Yeah.
Is one of the significant drivers that is the digital assets and liquid holdings, and he's all for Bitcoin now, $2.1 billion. His equity in the parent company of Truth Social is $1.2 billion. And then his real estate and golf resorts on top of that. But,
so my point is,
the meme coin that he got you to buy into is making him billions of dollars.
My point is, don't give me 2016 to 2020 Trump and be like, oh, but look what he did here. Where his wealth has shot up 165% in 18 months. My issue isn't with that Trump. My issue is with the 18 months Trump. I don't know who this guy is. It's Invasion of the Body Snatchers. I don't like him. He's making all kinds of deals. So don't do that. Like but I'm just saying, like, it shows the cognitive dissonance of just like, well, I have to find, like, they're still stuck on that. You know what I mean? It's like the old people that it's not old people. It's actually young people even that support him too, that get stuck on, yeah, but he lost all this. Yeah, but I don't have a problem with that guy. That guy didn't have, I didn't have a problem with that guy. RH Wagoneer says, my stocks have boosted my earnings also. Jim says, if the prime minister from power, it was done through OSS. Did I miss the beginning of that comment? CIA Kermit Roosevelt. Then we put in the Shah and might have even displaced him 25 years later. 7 Ann says, thank God it will not buy him a key into heaven. Can we scan for a Neuralink? You know, exactly. Here's the deal. He got the jab and I was all worried. I was like, please, Trump, don't get the jab. Don't get the jab. Don't do it, buddy. But he did. Heather says, I have family who is more afraid of Iran having a magical unicorn nuclear weapon than Israel's influence. Well, that's a lot of people. There are legal definitions of official duties. He is not immune and do whatever he wants, says Wicked Psyched. So that ruling actually came about while Biden was president. And it really does give him immunity as a president. And I was worried about it then. Everybody's like, oh, it's going to be totally fine. But I was definitely worried about it then. Correct me if my memory's wrong on that, but I'm pretty sure. All right, let me check a couple more places for comments. And earlier, Sling the Traders says, if you want a divorce, you are in a blankety blank marriage, period.
So in the first 3 months of the year, Trump's brokers spent $6 million on shares of Palantir, which is JD Vance's old boss.
Mm-hmm.
Palantir is all the surveillance with government contracts, by the way. And they fell from January to April, and then on April 10th, Trump talked up Palantir on Truth Social, including its stock market ticker, writing, Palantir Technologies, PLTR, has proven to have great war fighting capabilities and equipment. Just ask our enemies. So he is literally telling people to buy stocks so that his stocks will go up when they're not doing well.
Yeah. He's been doing that a lot, though.
That
is
okay
the
with ultimate of the... it's the ultimate of it. He's done it with NVIDIA. These $500,000 to $1 million in shares of NVIDIA, and between $50,000 and $100,000 in AMD, both chip makers, on January 6th. A week later, the Department of Commerce announced a loosening of restrictions on chip sales to China. Shares of NVIDIA jumped up, and then AMD went up. So he is literally manipulating the stock market.
Yeah.
With all the things. Okay. And if you're fine with that, okay. Now, I want to play this clip. This is kind of a little bit of a commercial break. This is Brain Brown, a researcher and author, on the contradictions she keeps hearing in rooms full of tech billionaires. They don't allow their kids to use any tech. They just don't let them use it. It should be over to the left.
To the left.
Right.
There it is. Okay. It's not just like the tech. You hear about like even the big vaccine pushers that don't let their kids take vaccines.
Right.
Let me tell you what scares me the most. I'm in some weird rooms because of the nature of my job. I'm in rooms where the people who run these platforms, the CEOs of these business and the founders are in these rooms, and I hear them talking, and I hear things that are so misaligned that it panics me. So I hear someone say, hey, tech billionaire, what should my kids study? I'm worried for my kids. Wow, they should study coding, physics, and then 5 minutes later, as if that answer didn't happen, someone will say, to what do you attribute your success? I mean, deeply when you think about it. And the same person will say, my deep reading of philosophy and the Stoics. And so then I'm thinking to myself, well, which is it, dude? Then I start to extrapolate from there and wonder if there is a thinking class that's emerging where they're like, we're going to read philosophy and we're going to read the liberal arts and we're going to study history. And the rest of you just keep scrolling. Don't worry about the big words. We'll handle all the big words for you. It's like when they asked Steve Jobs, boy, your kids must love the iPad. Steve Jobs said, my kids don't have an iPad. And then his biographer, who spent time with his family, said he wasn't kidding. There's no technology. At dinner, they're talking about art and history.
So this goes to the whole Prussian model, where John Dewey of the Dewey Decimal System went over to Prussia. It's like modern day Germany. And he wanted to study how the Prussians got so good in war and battle and their educational system. So at one point, the Prussian army had a lot of free thinkers who would go into battle, decide, I don't want to die today. They put down their swords and they run away.
Yeah.
They're like, whoa, we're not winning battles like this. We need to control people. So they had forced compulsive education. Oh, it's for the children. They had 2 classes of education, one for the underclass, and you were taught reading, writing, and arithmetic. Oh, look, this is for your benefit. The upper class was taught the liberal arts, reading of the classics, philosophy, and those were the thinkers. John D. Rockefeller pushed and promoted public education, and especially in teaching colleges, teachers, because he said, we don't want a nation of thinkers. There were too many people in America that were actually, they didn't need to be a slave to a system. They didn't need to be a cog in the system. Before the turn of the century and into the 20th century, 60% of people were doing very well on their own farms. They were kings of their own castle.
Yeah.
But you know what? Rockefeller, Carnegie, and especially Ford with his assembly line, they needed workers. They needed people who were public education. My big problem with public education is not necessarily what they teach you. It's what they don't teach you. Okay. And how they train you, to be obedient. And that goes into our last kind of big story. And then we have a couple of small stories before we sign off tonight. Is that you are Pavlov's dogs. Ring the bell, get the treat. Public education is designed for one thing, to keep us, to stand in line, to take the vaccine, to have 2.5 kids, to put your money into retirement. Don't think outside the box. Not the big box. Yeah, you can have big business. You can do whatever. In China, they let people have business too. But you are a cog in our system. And when called upon, and we need engineers, we're going to make your kids be engineers. If we need people in STEM, we are going to brainwash your kids, your daughters, your sons, however it is, to be in STEM. If we need you to do something, we're going to brainwash you into that. So yeah, and I'm going to play this clip here on the data centers with the CEO from BlackRock. You and I, we don't have a choice in pretty much anything.
More and more.
But I want you guys to hear what he says about the AI infrastructure, and how basically they have to rob us blind.
If we could get more and more Americans to think about growing with the United States, we will have far than enough money to invest in this infrastructure. But as the governor was talking about, the need for electrons is growing every day.
He's going to say, so this is the CEO of BlackRock, Larry Flint. He admits that trillions of dollars being used to build data centers and power grids will come from ordinary people's savings accounts and pension funds. And he says it's mandatory. He says America needs trillions in AI infrastructure spending and that people will be forced to invest in it.
Some of these, if we're going to be the leader in technology, which we are, if we are going to be the leader in AI, which we presently are, it's just going to require trillions of dollars of investments. And if we don't invest in it, China will be the global leader in this. And so to me, it's not whether, this is a must. And if you think about how that translates, it translates into a more dynamic economy. We need the United States economy to grow at over 2%. We need the U.S. economy to grow at 3%, especially with the growing deficits the federal government has. And so much of this money, not just the project, is going to be coming from the private sector, from savings accounts, from pension accounts, from insurance companies, and on and on and on. The whole world is in need of improving the infrastructure.
So we were told 5 minutes ago, Green New Deal, stop using energy. And now we're saying we need to use more energy than you could ever possibly imagine in a million lifetimes. That is insane. It is totally insane. Hang on. This clip here, this is from New Jersey. Shout out to Kim and Leah. This is a packed hall in Andover. Yeah, in Lorraine. as their committee just repealed the big tech data center giveaway and passed a full ban.
Oh, wow.
You know what? Wouldn't this feel better as a township representative to get the crowd behind you clapping for you, saying good job?
Yeah.
This is what's his name with Kevin O'Leary would say these are all Chinese bots.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me tell you what happened. An Andover Township committee. Wait. A viral video shows the stirring moment when Andover Township, New Jersey, approved a full ban on data centers, halting a project before it could move forward. The move comes as more communities are questioning how energy-hungry artificial intelligence infrastructure fits into their everyday neighborhood life. Breaking, Andover, New Jersey cancels data center project and passes complete ban. Rural New Jersey is fighting back.
Come on.
Against big tech. I guess there is a rural New Jersey. It kind of feels like they're all one big city. The Garden State already has roughly 80 data centers, but newer AI-focused facilities require far more electricity and water than older sites. The outlet noted that has sparked backlash in towns, in these smaller towns. Governor Mike Schriel announced a statewide 4-part plan to put in guardrails, but it does seem that both Democrats and Republicans are for data centers. For many families, the debate comes down to basic utility bills, clean water, noise, things like that. So it actually says that when these data centers come in, the household bills rise about $260. I think it's more than that, but even that is too much to ask people to pay that. And so, God, I just lift up these data centers to you.
Amen.
We don't need AI.
No.
We did fine with it. I asked you that you would destroy
Without it, you mean?
I asked you, yeah, fine without it. I ask that you destroy these data centers. I destroy their plans. I pray that there will be bulwarks and like a brick wall in front of every new data center in America. I just decree and declare that we will be AI data center free in the United States. We don't need you. We don't want you. And those with nefarious plans would be brought to nothing.
Amen.
And that their plans would be exposed. Their corruption would be exposed. Just like Sam Alton, who, his sister says raped her. And there's like a murder investigation around this guy that Tucker Carlson was talking about. Like, I ask that all these people, the Kevin O'Learys of this world, that you will bring them down in Jesus' name, that you will expose them, that you will stop them from being able to take rural land, good land, cow land, chicken land, and turning it into an AI hellscape and nightmare. I just rebuke it. I plead the blood of Jesus over America, every farmland. I just ask you, Father God, that you protect every farmland in America, not just from the data centers, but from the giant subdivisions that come in as well. And that you would bring back the small farm, the small house, small utilities, and may people, even just go off the grid and not even need these things. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Jim says, is Kevin O'Leary the Canadian billionaire who was in the Epstein files?
Yes, he is. All right.
He's the one that's on that, what's that TV show called when they...
Shark Tank.
Shark Tank. Yeah, he's from the Shark Tank.
Okay, so this is the biggest thing tonight that I find just really distressing. Our buddy, our friend, can we call him our friend?
Oh, 100%.
Because there's a lot of people that you were like, well, we're not really friends. We're just kind of like major acquaintances.
No,
but I'm going to be like,
friends with
Tom is a friend. He's a real friend.
I can call Tom at 3 a.m. He'll answer the phone. That's a friend.
Finally, I have a friend.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I've never done that, by the way, but I could if I did text him first thing in the morning about the SK thing. I was like, I got to tell you something.
He is so amazing. He's going gray over this, by the way, which is hilarious to watch. We've only known him for a little while. How are you going gray over all this? But
no, it only looks like he's going gray because he's letting his beard grow out.
Dude, that is intense. All right. So he looks great. If you watch this, Tom, you look fantastic.
Look great,
you look great. It's very becoming. You're aging like
do you know that he's only
Sean Connery,
2 years older than you?
I know, but you can see yes and no, the people are gonna be talking about it. All right. As he grows it out.
You want me to just play it?
Yeah, so let me explain it just a little bit. He's breaking down a case where in New York, all of New York, there was a vaccine mandate so that you couldn't work in the healthcare without being vaccinated. And people were losing their jobs. Now, the only full exemption was if you were medically exempt from vaccines.
Right.
Then you could get an exemption. There were accommodations for religious for religious reasons, but they were not broad. And people for religious reasons, and I think that your conscience is your religion.
Yeah.
Were not able to get the exemptions that they needed.
Right.
The DOJ, Trump's DOJ, is arguing, not in a case yet, is arguing that the Supreme Court should not take these disgruntled and wronged medical workers in New York who were fired.
Yeah.
And not take their case because while there was not a broad religious exemption, then there were some accommodations that were kind of made, and they say that they don't want to make precedent on this particular case. I don't care about precedent.
No, we should totally make precedent.
I want religious exemption under Title VII.
Yeah.
Federal Title VII should apply to the states that you have a religious exemption to stay employed, barring a medical procedure. Okay.
Look at this case and you look at what's happening with it. Our DOJ, and this is actually for real, our DOJ
this is for real.
actually came in and they argued that the Supreme Court should not take this case. The question, whether a state law that allows for reasonable accommodations short of complete religious exemption is consistent with the Civil Rights Act, Title VII, and can be the basis of an employer's undue hardship defense. They argued that a reasonable accommodation short of a full and complete religious exemption is okay. They literally argued. They said to the Supreme Court, no, you should not take this because as long as you have a reasonable accommodation, it's fine. I'm sorry, there's no reasonable accommodation that's okay to allow for discrimination for someone who doesn't want to take a vaccine. This is a foundational issue in MAHA. After COVID, and by the way, this comes from COVID cases, they are okay with an accommodation. Not a full religious exemption, just an accommodation. You talk about a war on MAHA. This is an absolute attack on the heart of MAHA. It doesn't get worse than this. I am absolutely blown away by this case. And when I look at it, they actually medical exemption, yeah, that's got to be full. But religious, don't worry about it. We don't care about your faith as much, right? You know, that's just not as big of a deal. And it's okay because they offer an accommodation. As long as there's accommodation, we don't care about your religious rights. You don't deserve a full exemption. We can give you an accommodation and we're fine. Our Department of Justice just argued for real, and I'm not joking, that the Supreme Court should not take up a case where people want a full religious exemption from vaccines, as long as there's a reasonable accommodation. But our government, in a midterm, is coming out and saying that a religious exemption, well, as long as it's an accommodation, it's fine. You don't deserve a religious exemption. This is literally an attack on MAHA. You can't make America great again if you aren't standing up for the First Amendment, freedom of religion, and they're arguing against it.
That is so true. And I want to let you guys know that these petitioners are also seeking damages.
Yeah.
They lost their income.
Yeah.
They lost their livelihood, So give you a little more detail. The Trump administration explained the petitioners are former healthcare workers who contend that New York's now repealed, and that's what it's fine. They're like, it's repealed. It doesn't affect you anymore.
It affected you at the
time. And I want justice, by the way.
And I want to make sure it's never going to happen again.
Vaccine mandate for healthcare workers known as Section 2.61 conflicted with Title VII because it foreclosed, that's the Civil Rights Act, because it foreclosed employers from granting any reasonable accommodations for religious practice, and that Section 261 permitted only a medical exemption, did not include a religious exemption. The practical effect of that policy was that New York healthcare workers seeking to decline a vaccination on religious reasons were fired. Instead of defending these wrongfully terminated workers, the DOJ nonsensically and shamefully plays word games to characterize their request as seeking an exemption, which New York law prohibited, instead of an accommodation, an option federal law requires. It then relies on this semantic nonsense to argue that the Supreme Court should not review. They're trying to say, Supreme Court, don't take up this case. because the petitioners filed all the way to the Supreme Court, and you have to be granted cert.
Yeah.
The DOJ is saying, don't grant them cert, don't hear this case, okay, of the Second Circuit's holding that a policy providing for medical but not religious exemptions is legal. Having dealt with scores of religious employees in New York that lost their jobs under this policy, it wasn't just medical, by the way. We had people on for the firefighters for Trump and the policemen for Trump or for against the vaccine mandates or whatever. The Trump administration's position is a sharp betrayal. The DOJ should have simply argued the obvious that Section 2.61 foreclosed any religious exemption and hence should not stand under federal law, period. That would have taken 1 or 2 pages. Instead, it spends 20 pages creating a word salad of nonsense to justify New York's and the DOJ's unjustifiable position. Here is as simple as I can make it. This is from Aaron Siri, who's so good. And he actually argued in front of the FDA this week, who renewed another COVID vaccine.
No.
And he's like, you're not taking into account the people that have died, the people that have been injured. You're renewing another COVID vaccine. He says, New York had a blanket policy denying religious exemptions. There was no accommodation for the COVID-19 vaccines for healthcare workers. These healthcare workers sued, saying the federal law requires a religious exemption if there is a medical exemption. If there's a medical exemption, you need a religious exemption, okay? The trial court held a categorical policy that allows for medical but not religious exemptions is permissible, and the Second Circuit affirmed. The DOJ showed up at the Supreme Court, didn't need to, by the way, and argued the Supreme Court, don't take up this appeal. That would result in the Second Circuit decision remaining good law. And he says, as I initially tweeted, the Donald Trump administration just filed a brief in the Supreme Court betraying religious liberty by arguing it is perfectly fine for employers to have policies that allow medical but not religious exemptions to vaccination requirements. Indeed, arguing that the Supreme Court should not take the case is saying that the Second Circuit decision finding you need not have a religious exemption should stand. Total betrayal. Thomas Massey says Trump disappointment syndrome.
So Wicked Psych says, depends on how they wrote their argument. If it wasn't narrowed to vaccines, it could have been too broad. I'm pretty sure it was narrowed to vaccines because it was all about the COVID vaccine mandate. That was the only issue here. But as far as anything being too broad, I don't think that anything is too broad for a religious exemption. You have the right to be exempted from, I think, anything on a religious ground.
Yeah.
Like one of my favorite films is Hacksaw Ridge, where that one guy, he's a conscientious objector. I think he was a Quaker, and he couldn't bear arms, but he wanted to join the military. So they, for religious reasons, they had to let him join the military just for religious reasons because he wanted to join, but he refused to fire a weapon or to even carry one. But as far as anything that they're going to require for you to insert into your body, I don't even believe that teachers should have to be vaccinated for anything, or police officers, or there should not be any requirements. And here's the thing, we may disagree on this, any of our viewers, but I don't think we do. I don't think that anybody should ever be able to cause you to lose your job because you refuse to get a vaccine.
Especially an experimental one. Okay.
Yeah, especially an experimental one. What you put into your body is always your choice. Full stop.
So the petitioners, a group of healthcare workers, doctors, nurses, therapists, and others, claim that Title VII of the Civil Rights Act, failure to provide reasonable religious combinations unless they cause undue hardship, the First Amendment Free Exercise Clause, the Supremacy Clause, state law allegedly overriding federal religious protections, and the Equal Protection, favoring medical secular exemptions over religious ones. In their ongoing Supreme Court petition, they want a renew and reversal of the Second Circuit's dismissal of their claims. And they do seek damages and reinstatement-related relief for those fired. And why not?
Yeah, and this is a good point from Atlas B. It's not even a vaccine. I put the even in there, but I think that that's what you meant.
Exactly.
Let's see. Chris says, temporary injustices can be remedied. God and our life experiences can teach us how to relate in healthy ways before permanent harm has been accomplished by criminals. She says, quit arguing with unlawful definitions, people. Come on and get real about what is truly a trespass by the way of harm against us. Very well said.
Remember, employers face daily fines, license suspension, revocation, and other penalties for noncompliance for not getting the vaccine. This is insanity. The Trump administration should be up there with a bullhorn saying, yes, not just religious exemptions, conscientious exemptions, everything. This was a war against humanity, taking your livelihood, taking taking everything from you. I am so mad at this, you guys. They were asking us to we don't know what was in those vaccines. It could be a daggum alien running through people's bodies, and we don't know. And we do know that people are dying at super high rates from cancer. We do know that people have got the vaccines and died right away. We know that people were on in wheelchairs and feeding tubes and all these things. And the fact that the Trump administration, the FDA, is going to put forth another COVID vaccine for why? Why are you doing this?
But if the mandate has been repealed, then why? This is like a legit question. Does anybody have the answer? Why is the Trump DOJ going to argue against this? It almost has the feeling of something in the future. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, okay, the mandate's over. It doesn't even matter now. Like, you've literally repealed the reason that everybody has to get it, and yet you're saying that they should have had to get it and they don't get a religious exemption. Like, that does not make any sense.
Yes.
Okay. Unless they are preparing for something in the future. That's the only thing that makes sense. Ohio hospitals get about $130,000 for each kill. I don't remember the figures. We used to have them memorized at the time it was going, but they do get a lot of money. They absolutely get a lot of money. Chris says those definitions were changed to make it profitable for criminals to take advantage of people that they deceived or who chose to remain uninformed.
All right, so I'm just gonna leave you guys with what I thought was a little bit funny.
We have commercial breaks.
I would love to. Yeah, I would love to go out west. I would love to go to Yellowstone again. I want to go to Glacier again, and I've never been to Yosemite.
Yeah.
Well, you just can't go right now.
What?
You just can't go.
Okay, let me close this one. Close this one.
Close all of them and sit to the left.
Okay. Well, we'll just start over here and just start closing. Close.
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 There it is.
Got it.
Yep. So there used to be a reservation system.
Okay.
Now, when we went to Yellowstone, we didn't need a reservation. We just went in. We went into Glacier. We just went in. I have no idea what's going on with these people, but everybody wants to go outside now.
Chaos at Yosemite. It's the first summer since the national park stopped using their timed reservation system, and the crowds, as you can see, are piling in. Already this year, there have been almost 100,000 more visitors than this time last year. ABC 7 Eyewitness News reporter Dryden Quigley spoke to people who are at the park this weekend.
The line of cars goes on and on and on, all waiting to get into Yosemite National Park.
People were waiting for like at least an hour and a half.
And once you're inside, the waiting isn't over.
By, I would say 7:30, the entire park, it was impossible to park. There's nowhere to park for anybody.
Waiting to find parking, waiting to get on the shuttle, waiting to see the sights.
A lot of shoulder to shoulder, a lot of chaos, a lot of angry people, a lot of oblivious people.
With many getting impatient and just illegally parking wherever they could.
There are people pulling onto meadows, pulling off pavement, going off road. The lines to get even shuttles around the park, I mean, from the videos, were just horrendous.
It's the first summer where anyone can enter Yosemite, no reservation required. The change came after a comprehensive evaluation where Yosemite Superintendent Ray McPadden found the reservation system was not the most effective. John Buckley with the Central Sierra Environmental Resource Center says it was at least better than this.
Without any limits on the amount of vehicles, amount of people, it becomes overwhelmed.
He believes the decision was good for business, not for the environment.
The best accessibility is when there's managed park, conditions, so that the number of vehicles is balanced with the amount of parking.
Even those who didn't like the reservation system say they now see why it was needed.
There's just not enough capacity, like infrastructure and the employees to handle all of this traffic.
As we head into the busiest season for Yosemite, people say something needs to change.
These are the best protected places on the planet, and we cannot be managing them like an amusement park.
For your best shot at avoiding these crowds, the Yosemite Conservancy recommends getting there early, going during the week, or taking the bus.
So I Googled why just Yosemite, because Yellowstone, when we went in 2017, it was easy in, easy out. Glacier was easy in and easy out. I know that they put in this reservation system during COVID, which I found incredibly annoying, but it has to do with the fact that Yosemite is actually a really small park. 95% of the visitors crowd into Yosemite Valley, which is a dead-end canyon, only 7 miles long and 1 mile wide. And that their proximity is only a 3 to 4 hour drive from San Francisco and Sacramento. Whereas like Yellowstone,
it takes a minute to get there.
Yosemite's close to San Francisco.
I
and
meant
Sacramento.
it's Yellowstone.
Yeah, it takes a while to get to
Glacier
Yellowstone.
and Yellowstone, like they far away, man.
Yeah, so Yellowstone is 3 times as large as Yosemite and has a massive 140-mile grand loop. And multiple entrances.
Right.
So you get in at one entrance and you just kind of keep going around in a circle. So I just thought that was really funny. So don't try Yosemite.
I would say
this year.
There are so many amazing, beautiful places to see.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you don't need to go see Yosemite.
Yeah.
You know,
I'm sure it's beautiful.
I know Smokey the Bear was born there, wasn't he?
Yosemite Sam. That's all I remember.
Yosemite Sam. Is that what it is? I'm thinking. I don't know.
Smokey was there or
not. People are feeling trapped already, says Chris. Wicked Sykes says it will end up getting trashed and disrespected. Atlas B says a friend who is still a nurse at the Sandusky, Ohio VA home said that they lost half of their residents during the lockdown. That place is huge. Oh, wow. Jim says just cut down those stupid trees, flatten the hills, and pave the park. Is that a joke? You've got to be joking, right? Okay, so I love our national parks. I obviously everybody should want to visit Yosemite. It's a American treasure. But I think the advice to maybe not go there. I like looking at those crowds. I'm feeling like an introvert.
I don't want to be there.
I'm like, I don't want to be there. I don't want to be around those people. Like, I want to go somewhere where it's like nature and you like just don't see stuff.
Okay, so we have a package. We were going to open it.
Leah was going to open it when we got home, and I was like, Leah, you can't open it.
What if it's weird? It's probably not weird.
They're never weird from Todd. Todd's are always awesome.
Well, personal or something. I don't know.
Todd knows. He knows the routine.
Like to do pre-opening.
If you guys send us anything and you don't want it announced on air, yeah, I gave that to him. Then you need to let us know ahead of time, right? Like, because otherwise, and maybe ahead of time we could have opened it because this always takes a minute.
It does take a minute,
Leah. It's these post office boxes are actually great.
You don't wear a knife anymore.
Well, the back brace makes that dangerous and not awesome. So we do what we can. Okay, we're gonna just kind of cut into it like this, so that we can. Here we go. I got it.
So you're never supposed to go towards you, but
Leah,
you guys got to do what you got to do.
We're getting it done. Okay, you guys don't want to see what I'm having to do here. No, it's good.
There you go. There you go.
There we go. We got it. Is Todd even here tonight? Todd, are you here?
Todd, should we wait till Sunday?
No. It'll be all right. He'll watch it on the playback. Oh, Leah.
Oh, a gift for your ministry below. Wow. This is not my birthday.
I think, Todd told me actually that he was sending a belated birthday gift.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, that's
I think he
fun.
sent me an email on that. Yeah, he did. Yogi the Bear. Thank you, not Smokey. Yay,
I will take it.
Thank you.
Wow. Oh, Todd, what the heck, man?
Oh, that's very generous birthday.
Because he loves you. There's no end to all the good
card?
things.
That's really pretty.
Because God created you. You are a very special person in this world.
You are.
Look at that ocean.
Oh.
Because he loves you, there's no end to all the good things he has in store for you. And because he made you so wonderfully, you are a true blessing to everyone who knows you. God grant Leah the vision to always see the good. Your will be done.
I love that.
Yes, I receive that. God grant me the vision to always see the good. Oh, I love that. So good. New clothes. You saying something? So he put in money for new clothes. So I will make that happen. Wow.
Oh, wow.
Jeez.
What? Hang on. Are you trying to say something?
I don't mind. It's okay.
Are you trying to say that we are? So I'm gonna be honest. I have no problem being honest. We've been busy lately, so like there's been times where like tonight I just put a hat on, and sometimes I'll come down like a sweatshirt, and maybe that's being noticed because we used to dress up, like especially on Sundays. You look very nice.
I tried.
You
today.
did. I did
even
not
put-
try
I
at
even
all.
put-
And thank you. You're all correcting me. They're all like, you are thinking of Yogi the Bear, and that was Jellystone. Ohio Creation, Yogi and Boo Boo. Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I
Boo
messed
Boo.
it up. All right, a gift for your
Not your
ministry below.
average
Make sure there's
bear.
nothing in there. Todd, this
That
is
is
very
just
nice
the
of you.
envelope is a note.
Okay, no, Todd does a good job at that. All right. Do you want to open it since it's your birthday present anyway?
I guess so. I wonder what this could be.
It's heavy.
It's to make up for our not getting the grams of gold on Bidfo. To whoever
I was
got-
so worried that they weren't real, and they might not have been. And so, like, what if we had gotten them,
Right.
and then we'd be out $800, and we'd been having some fool's gold?
That'd be embarrassing.
That would have been awful. Well, would we have told everybody though? Yes, we would have, because we would have warned you about it.
Yes.
Oh wow, fancy.
Oh my.
Oh, that's nice.
Okay.
I gotta open it
Here.
up.
You
Okay,
look at those.
I'll
ones.
look at these. Ooh, these are like this
Silver
is a historical
coins.
Okay, so we've got 3 silver dimes, and they are 1940.
So this is cool.
Ones.
Oh my gosh, Michelle, you've got to be kidding me.
No.
American Prospector, 1986.
No, Todd, I wish you were here. Okay,
You guys have to go back and watch the beginning of our show.
it was literally called prospected gold is what it is. That's what they call it when you buy it in the raw form. Raw prospected gold. So when Leah says this is to make up for our
That's 3
loss
of
of
them.
the prospected, that's the Holy Spirit
Or the Holy Spirit
confirming-
saying we should have got the prospected
no, I don't
gold.
like that one. That's not nice.
Matt really wanted it.
I know. I feel bad. Okay, so there's actually 4 dimes here.
Ooh.
I know. They're nice. One was the 1941. And let's see if they're all 1941s. 1941, 1943, and 1942. Oh, those are awesome. So here is a 1952 and a 1953 Liberty half
wow.
dollar.
Wow.
Yeah, those are
Todd,
nice.
these are
Thank
very
you,
cool.
Todd.
I think you were led by the Holy Spirit. This came before we, honestly, if we'd opened it before, do you think we may have gotten the prospected gold?
Was this yesterday or today?
We got it
It was
yesterday.
Oh my gosh. I mean, like the sign. Okay.
This is
there's- hang on.
84, 85, and 86. Oh, there's more?
Those are from 1986? Those are like old?
Yeah.
Oh, that's so cool. Yeah, these are it's a 2016 Walking Liberty.
Oh, those are beautiful.
And another 2016 Walking Liberty. So thank you, Todd. You're amazing. There's nothing more amazing than holding
it
like
seem
real
like
silver in your hand.
why are these bigger? Because aren't they both 1 ounce?
They are. Let me see. Nope. Well,
This
it's
says-
probably, those are thicker.
It says 1 true ounce.
I bet those are
that's
thicker.
pretty. Yeah. So, in case you guys
Yeah.
wanted to know, they made the Walking Liberties. These are both an ounce.
Yeah, but one is a U.S. minted coin and one is just a round.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Isn't that prospect one? It's just a round.
You're right. This is 1 true ounce. This is $1.
So it's just more flat, right?
Mm-hmm. Well, Todd,
That's
this is so
cool.
fun.
Yeah.
We should look up what is the price of silver today.
Well, that's such a great question. Let me pull it up. I always have it ready. Do
you have it ready?
I do. It's an app on
You
my
have an app?
phone. I do. Yeah, it's $76 today.
Oh, I think hopefully you bought them on
$4,553.
So I would say that silver is kind of as low as it's going to get for a while if you guys needed to get silver. And
Speaking of which, now would be a good time, because we didn't advertise for anything today, to head over to resistancechicks.com/God's money to contact Zhang International. They changed their name from Enterprises to International. And tell them that Resistance Chicks sent you. What is going on with this?
He is really balding here.
Has this been
Hey,
here
baldy,
the whole
baldy.
show, guys? This is today's Oh, wait. Watch this. Let me put this back. Watch this. This right here is a small version. Like, where did the rest of what has this literally been there the whole day? You guys didn't say anything.
What I love about these is that they've been in circulation.
Oh my gosh. That is so funny. Let's do this. I changed out the wrong thing. I'm gonna have to get my little logo back. I don't know what's going on. Oh my gosh, that is so funny. Nobody said nothing. Was it too small for you guys to be able to see it? Let me pull up the one and you'll see like what I'm talking about here. Just boom. That's what's supposed to be there. Instead, it was today's little overlay that I use. These little overlay graphics. That's hilarious. Okay. All right. So thank you, Todd. Anyway, Zhang International. If you need gold and silver, if you want to change over your IRA and your retirement, that's like, maybe you've gotten an inheritance. Those are the types of things that they specialize in. But keep in mind that Lynette Zhang and her entire team, they are all about the wealth shield, meaning food, shelter, barterability. They understand that you don't just want to do gold and silver, that you're going to want to do a little bit of everything, and they will help you to kind of come up with that. So Zhang Internationals is the official gold and silver dealer of Resistance Chicks. So go over to resistancechicks.com/God's Money. I didn't see it until you pointed it out. That's so funny. The whole show was missing our little logo. Well, I'm glad you guys were so enthralled in the show that you missed it. That makes me feel a little bit better. All right, so we will be here on Sunday, tomorrow, and every Saturday, Lord willing, as we can, aside from some other things that we're doing.
You gotta go load up.
We're going to be doing the Eastgate Mall outdoor vendor and food truck market. It's been so fun. We've done it the past 2 weekends. This will be our third.
It's only been 2.
It's only been 2. Oh my gosh, and they've been rainy. Tomorrow's going to be like warm.
I don't know what we're going to do.
Worry about the body butters.
It's been pretty exciting.
Yeah, it has been really, really fun. So being out in the community, praying with people, talking with people, it's been so great. Now, keep in mind, this past week, we had on Mike DiVirgilio. So if you missed the Revelation Red Pill from Wednesday, you don't want to have missed it. We're talking about making babies for your country, making babies for your religion, which is Christianity, making babies for your family, and how wonderful babies are. Lee and I are hoping to get on that bandwagon at some point. Y'all just keep praying, and we receive your prayers, and we love you for them. I'm getting on the baby making bandwagon. Stream it. Oh, tomorrow. So we can't stream that because it's 10 to 5, if that's what you meant. But I do keep meaning to do like little live videos. I know a lot of you aren't on Facebook, but Facebook is the easiest place for us to do those little live videos. And sometimes I remember to upload them. Occasionally I do not. Chris says, my screen is just over an inch on my phone with the chat open. Oh my gosh. That's so funny. And some of you are watching us on the big screen, and that was there the whole time. And that's just so funny. Oh my gosh. Everybody's gonna be like watching it later, like, what is this little thing on here? But anyway, we appreciate all of your prayers, all of your support, everybody that donates. If you would like to donate to Resistance Chicks, and we do appreciate those of you that do, you can do so over at shop.resistancechicks.com or resistancechicks.com. Both of those places will take you to the support Resistance Chicks. And I do want to do a shout out to those of you that are monthly donors or occasional donors. It literally means so much to us. It also means a lot to us when you guys visit the shop and you support our products. I know you are all probably bursting at the seams. Do not buy anything you don't already need. Okay. But I do appreciate those of you that.
So our massage therapist was like, I had to learn the deodorant. She goes, I went, and it goes everywhere.
You don't want to do that.
So you just a little bit and rub it in.
Little bit. It's food for your pits. You need to like really get it in there. You know what I'm saying? Like you got it.
Some know what I'm saying.
After a shower, that's when because you're clean, right? Just rub it in. You're nice and warm. You know, I put the body butter all over my body, and then I'm putting in the food for my pits, AKA Perfume Day Jesus. All right. We love you guys. God loves you. God bless. Remember, it's not just a conspiracy theory if it's actually the truth. Leah, thank you for a wonderful show today. This was very enlightening.
And thank you, Todd. So fun.
Alice B says, I sadly think that many newlyweds who've been jabbed might be afraid of having kids. So let me speak a word of blessing to you. You shall not eat any deadly thing and it will harm you. Or it's actually, you shall eat anything and it will not harm you. You just got to pray that stuff away. We're going to speak life over your bodies.
Let's go steal a picnic basket.
Jim says, well, not for bears, but kids aren't bears, and let's go steal a picnic basket. You're awesome.
Yeah, boo-boo.
So just know that every one of you, like
You're
Jim,
smart than the average bear.
I am
You're
smarter than the average bear. We are praying for all of you. Jim's
Amen.
got, a lot going on with his, he's got a growth that they are shrinking, by the way. Please, actually, before we leave, I have to do a prayer. Huge shout out for Liz. I don't know if she's here tonight, watching live. Her dad, I don't know how much I'm allowed to share. I think it's probably okay. He has been having a lot of issues lately, and they found a mass on his colon, and they cannot remove it.
Okay.
So they're going to do radiation, and he's got a bleed. And so they're going to do radiation to shrink and to stop the bleed. And so she made a post, but it does not normally do this on her personal page, just asking people to pray for her dad today. So Father God, we just lift up Liz and her family to you. I thank you that you're covering them with the peace of the Holy Spirit. We just speak healing and life to her dad, to that colon. We speak life to your colon. We speak life to your body. And we speak death to this mass. It's going to shrink up. It's going to shrivel up. It's going to disappear. I thank you that God, you designed our bodies to heal. And I just speak complete peace over Liz and her mom and their entire family. God, you love this family. You want to take care of this family. You want their dad healed. You want him whole, and you want him back out in the farm, working the fields. And so I just thank you, Father God, that there is no fear in this process, that you are going to use this for victory. You're going to turn it around. And we just speak complete life and complete healing to Liz's dad. And I just thank you that the entire Resistance Chicks family is joining us in this. We know what this is like. We've been through it with our mom. When you need those prayers and you're just, in that state of desperation and just fear, and the attacks are coming every which way, and you just want to kind of give up to the despair. And we just speak hope. We speak hope, and we speak joy, and we speak life in the midst of this, that their entire family is just completely covered with an abundance of grace that they never saw coming as they have to go through this process. But we continue to speak life and healing because we know that you are the God of miracles, that you love to come through in the 10th inning stretch where it just looks like they're going to lose and it's going to be wiped out, and you come in for a win. And I just thank you, Father God, that you will be glorified through this, that her dad is going to be healed, that her dad shall live and not die and declare the works of the Lord. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Please, guys, add Liz's dad, if you could, please add him to your daily prayer list. I would count it as a personal favor. So he's definitely on our prayer list every day. So, all right, we'll see you guys on Sunday. We love you so much. God bless.